subscribe, like the video, and, if possible, join Patreon. But if you don't have much money, you can support the channel by watching the novels on euroaudiobooks.com. Remember that you can participate in the polls so that your favorite novel gets published for free.
Necessarily lose. Not long after, a yellow spark came from the depths of the forest, followed by the sound of ping-pong-pong metal collision, and then two figures appeared in front of them. One of them is Pikachu, and the other is the evolution of Sizer. When Ash saw Sizer, he showed a hint of liking for him. Obviously, Sizer fits Ash's combat characteristics very well, and he is very handsome. If he has the chance in the future, he will definitely breed a Sizer. Hey, Sizer's trainer, isn't it time for you to come out and meet me? I didn't expect you to notice me. A middle-aged man dressed as a samurai appeared in front of them. Judging from his momentum, he is an old-fashioned trainer. At this moment, Misty rushed out, stood in front of the uncle, and pointed at him and said, "Hey, uncle, you are too dangerous to sucker punch like this." The uncle waved his hands and apologized quickly. Sorry, I just want to test my strength." "How can you test others' strength like this?" Okay, Misty." Ash pulled her away and said to the uncle, "Your Sizer is very strong. If there is a chance, we can have a formal battle. And shouldn't you introduce yourself?" "I'm really sorry, my name is Muramasa, and this is my partner Masamune. I'm Ash from Pallet Town." Ash extended his hand politely. Muramasa shook his hand and said, "To be honest, I have been here all the time, looking for a strong trainer. Ash, your strength is a bit beyond my expectation." He had been observing Ash before. Although he did not give orders to Pikachu, there was no obstacle in the battle between Pikachu and his Sizer. Everything seemed to be as he planned. Without giving orders, Pokémon knew what to do. "It looks like you have something to do." "Oh, how do you know?" "Your Sizer's fighting style is different from that of ordinary Sizer, and I observed that when Sizer attacked Pikachu, his behavior was more natural than my Pikachu, so I inferred that your Sizer has experienced countless battles and fought with many trainers, but none of them were to your liking." Muramasa sighed and said, "Ash, you are so right. I do have something I want you to help with. You all come with me first." After learning about it, it turned out that Muramasa was really an old-fashioned trainer. He had fought countless battles when he was young. After he had his own understanding of Pokémon battles, he opened a dojo deep in the forest for young people to train. "Mr. Muramasa, it seems that your disciples are very energetic." Ash praised. "You are flattering. In fact, I called you here for him." Muramasa took them to a young man who was still looking at the computer. "This is my son Shingo. He hasn't trained with me for more than a year because of that computer." After Muramasa finished speaking, Ash understood that this was a boy who was addicted to the internet and thought that he could fully master the battle through a computer. In fact, there was nothing wrong with using a computer to collect rivals' data. The mistake was that he was still using the computer for current analysis during the battle, which made it easy to lose the rhythm on the field. "So, my unwelcome request is that I hope to fight with my son. Uncle Muramasa is too polite. I am willing to fight with a master." Ash said politely and came to Shingo. "I am Ash from Pallet Town. I hope you can fight with me once." Strangely, Shingo did not answer him directly, but tapped on the computer, and soon a bunch of information appeared. Ash from Pallet Town, one of the top 16 in the Indigo Plateau Conference, honorary trainer of the Orange Alliance Winter Cup, failed in the battle because of Charizard's disobedience. "I say, do you think you can master all my situations with just a computer?" "Of course, it contains the information of all trainers in the past 5 years and everyone's fighting style. Your fighting style is C-type, typical aggressive, relying on momentum and strength to overwhelm everything. Do you think you have completely mastered me?" Ash sneered. "Of course, so I don't want to fight you, because I have studied the deepest meaning of Pokemon's battle, and no one's strength can surpass the data." Although he sounded arrogant, in fact, he had already defeated everyone in the gym. "Humph, I think you are afraid." "What do you mean?" "Maybe the original me was indeed like the data, but now I am completely different. I only rely on data and don't feel it myself. I even don't want to fight after seeing the previous me. This behavior is undoubtedly a coward. I don't even have the courage to fight others. I don't want to fight a coward." After saying that, Ash was ready to turn around and leave. "Stop. I'll fight you and let you see my strength." Shingo shouted. Muramasa shook his head secretly. It seems that he has been provoked by Ash. Ash smiled proudly and faced him. Maybe I can't deny that you used the information to understand rivals' behavior, but I will tell you with facts that you are wrong. Humph, everyone can talk big. I hope you don't lose too badly. The same thing goes for you. I hope you, the young master, don't be shut up by me. Shingo and Ash came to the battle site, and the disciples present also consciously made way for them. The battle is about to start. To be continued. This is because the flowers have exceeded 1,000 again. I hope it's not too late. By the way, Chikorita's final evolution is called Meganium or Meganium. Which one sounds better? Leave a message in the comment area. As for the red flash, Ash will definitely have it. Read books every day during the 11th. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP points. Recharge now activity time, October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 27. A Crushing Victory. New book. Please support. Seeing that the eldest Master Shingo finally came to the battlefield, the disciples present were very surprised. So, they consciously gave up the venue. Ash, you will regret what you said just now. Shingo said to him, I think you'd better say whatever you want to say quickly. Huh? Why? Because when you lose and become speechless later, it will be too late. Being provoked by Ash's words, Shingo was angry again. Damn it, I'm going to teach you a lesson. As he said, he took out his Pokémon ball, and another Sizer emerged from it. He is Bray, my strongest Pokémon. Whether it is his speed, physical strength, or strength, it exceeds that of my father's original. He is the most perfect Sizer in the world. After listening to his boasting, Ash couldn't help but cover his head. Boy, you can see that you have never been out and experienced the world. You said your Sizer is the most perfect? Kalos Steel Elite Wickstrom, was the first to express my dissatisfaction. Seeing his expression, Shingo got angry again. So what I just said was in vain? Didn't you feel any emotion at all? In fact, he really didn't listen to it. After all, who wants to listen to nonsense? The most perfect Sizer? I hope you don't lose too quickly. Ash said slowly, Heracross, it's you. Heracross. Heracross shouted very energetically. During this period of time, Ash has been training Heracross to learn different skills. Now, it's a good opportunity for Assist to see if Heracross has improved. Muramasa has been observing him and found that Ash's expression has not changed much from beginning to end. On the contrary, his son can't control his emotions after being provoked by a few words. The game begins. Breeder, take the initiative and use Quick Attack. Heracross, bulk up, then use Protect. But to be honest, this Sizer breeder is still good. In terms of speed and explosive power, it can be regarded as top-notch. Heracross did not fly backwards directly. It glowed red and raised its hands to form a protective shield in front of him, blocking Sizer's attack this time. How is it possible? Heracross's reaction is so fast. Shingo quickly looked at the computer and found that Heracross's reaction force was 0.18, which was higher than the normal Heracross. Not bad, but that's all. Heracross, use Aerial Ace. Heracross's eyes flashed, and the insect wings behind him opened and slammed in a Sizer before he could react. Bray! Shingo exclaimed, and then looked at the computer again. Do you think you still have time to look at the computer? Heracross, use Horn Attack. As soon as the voice fell, Heracross rushed up again and pushed it out with a corner. At this time, Shingo's computer showed a warning again. This time it was a new record. How could it be so fast? Unexpectedly, Bray was attacked one after another in just a moment of distraction. Bree, stand up and use agility. Fortunately, he reacted quickly and used Bray's speed advantage to confuse Heracross. Heracross, don't be afraid, calm down, and pay close attention to the wind around you. Ash ordered. Heracross did not disappoint him. He stood still, closed his eyes, and sensed everything around him through the airflow around him. Even if I can't catch up with you, as long as you dare to get close with Heracross's current reaction speed, he will definitely be able to turn the situation around in an instant. This is Ash's conspiracy. But Shingo didn't seem to notice it at all. He thought he didn't dare to move. He thought he had found an opportunity, so he ordered, Bray, use the Alloy Claw. Heracross, Focus punch. Just when Bray was about to launch a sneak attack from behind Heracross turned around and hit its claws with a metallic glow. Boom! After an explosion, the two Pokémon flew backwards at the same time. How could this happen? Heracross actually noticed my sneak attack. Do you still have time to look at the computer? Heracross, brick break. Because of his physical condition, Heracross reacted quickly, rushed to Bray, and hit Bray's head with a claw. Bree, get out of the way! Get out of the way! Shingo was already in a panic. I can't get out of the way anymore. Heracross, Night Slash. After giving the order, Heracross's claws hit Bray's waist, which was his weak spot. Bree! He didn't bother to look at the computer and looked directly at the field. The last blow, Mega Horn. As he flashed a white giant horn attack towards Bray, the game was over. Bree lost his ability to fight. Ash won. Hearing this result, he was a little overwhelmed, and as for the computer he relied on, it was also a series of question marks at this time. I was completely suppressed. This was the thought that came to his mind. Shingo, where is the computer you have been relying on? Muramasa came over and asked. I was looking at the computer the whole time, and I underestimated the enemy. I didn't expect Heracross to react so quickly, and I didn't take Bray's situation into consideration. Shingo was reflecting on himself and suddenly realized, I know, Ash has always focused on Heracross so he can control the rhythm on the field. So, is this what fighting is? It seems that you have understood it. You have found the original passion. Yes, Dad. Shingo answered loudly, and then walked to Bray. Bray, you worked hard in this battle. Bray also nodded at him. This is a good battle for you. You should always keep it in mind. Muramasa patted his shoulder. Let's go out for a walk after this time. Okay, I've decided. I'm going to travel too, with my Bray. Ash, sooner or later I'll fight you again. Ash smiled slightly. Of course, I'm always here. After seeing the two people shake hands, Muramasa nodded with satisfaction and said to Ash, Thank you so much this time. I really don't know what to say. Nothing else? I'm sorry to bother you this time. Ash also said very politely, To express my gratitude, this is for you. Muramasa took out something and handed it to Ash. After Ash looked at it, he immediately had an idea in his mind. To be continued. Guess what this is? In the next chapter, we will recapture Cyndaquil. Please look forward to it. Reading is fun every day. Recharge 100 to get 500 VIP points. Recharge now activity time. October 1st to October 7th, Chapter 28. Conquering Cyndaquil, new book, please support. After Ash left the dojo, he continued on his way to Azalea Town. On this day, they passed through this forest. Ash, if we follow this road, it will take another day to reach Azalea Town. Why not take another road? Maybe we will have reached Azalea Town a long time ago. Xiao Gang said while looking at the guidebook. The reason is very simple. There are Cyndaquil in this forest. Ash replied, Cyndaquil? Ash, are you sure? Misty asked uncertainly. I also heard it from others. As the saying goes, it is better to believe it than not to believe it. It may not be a bad thing to come and look for it. Ash said patiently. In fact, through the memories of his previous life, he could remember that there was a Cyndaquil in this forest and it must belong to him. Suddenly, Ash called them and said, Wait a minute. Misty and Xiaojing turned around and asked, What's wrong? Ash didn't answer them, but picked up a stone from the ground and threw it at the road in front of them. Then they heard a boom, and a deep pit appeared in front of them. There is a trap here? Fortunately, I didn't step into it. Misty said worriedly, But who is so wicked? Why would they set a trap here? Could it be that Team Rocket ambushed us in advance? Xiaojing speculated. Ash came to the front of the trap, took a look, and said, This is not done by Team Rocket. First of all, with their mobility, it is unlikely that they are one step ahead of us. If they came, they would have appeared at the gym. Secondly, this trap doesn't look like a trap set for people. It looks like a trap to catch Pokémon. You guys actually destroyed my carefully designed trap. Who are you? At this time, a young man appeared from the bushes on the side. This guy was holding a shovel in his hand, and there was a newly dug trap under him. Why did you dig the trap? Don't you know it's dangerous? Misty came out and questioned. Humph, you're stupid if you got caught. Who told you to disturb me while I was catching Cyndaquil? The tone was uncomfortable to hear. By the way, You guys stay here and don't destroy my trap. Ash frowned. It seems that you also know that there are wild Cyndaquil nearby. Of course, I heard that there are wild Cyndaquil nearby, but you are not allowed to interfere, it's mine. As soon as the young man finished speaking, he suddenly felt his collar being lifted up, and when he looked again, he found that Ash was looking at him. I hate it most when someone says this to me, kid. If it weren't for the fact that we didn't fall into your trap, you would have been a useless person. You let me go. Okay, let me go. Ash threw him to the ground and patted his hands. You're so dirty. I'm afraid of getting my hands dirty when I hit you. You wait for me. After the young man said something harsh, he ran away with a shovel. Ash, what happened just now? You just don't like him. The forest is not his home. Why should he give orders to others? Ash is right. Let's go first. Ah, kid, here we come. Just as they were about to leave, suddenly, the Rockets trio drove a Meowth robot over. When they were about to get in front of them, they wanted to show off. This is our latest research result. Steal Meowth #1. Before he finished speaking, the robot's feet fell into the pit. It seems that we have someone to help us clear the mines. Let's go find Cyndaquil. Ash said. Okay, hey little brat, help us. Pull us out, Meow. Then, Ash and his group came to the foot of a mountain. There were many caves in this mountain, and it seemed to be connected in all directions. Look, it's Cyndaquil. Misty's eyes were the sharpest, and she saw a Cyndaquil on it at a glance. Cyndaquil is naturally timid, but this one didn't show any fear, just yawned, and seemed a little slow to react. Wow, so cute. Ash, you have to subdue it, Misty said on the side. Don't try to snatch it from me. Sandslash. Use flying sand kick on them. The young man just now appeared again, and he also had a Sandslash. No wonder he dared a power trip now. Pidgeot. Use Hurricane to blow them away. Helplessly, Ash threw Pidgeot's Pokemon ball, and then Pidgeot flapped its wings a few times, blowing the sand to their side, and he was attacked instead. Okay, Pidgeot, take us to Cyndaquil, Ash said to Pidgeot after Misty and Xiaojing rode on it, and it flew up with a flap of its wings. Ha, kid, we're out. Don't think that kind of trap can trap us. Team Rocket, he dug the trap. Go and settle the score with him. Ash said without looking back. You destroyed my trap, the young man said to them. Just now the kid said that he dug the trap. James said with his chin in his hand. Then what are you waiting for? Beat him. In this way, without the interference from the outside world, Ash and his team came to Cyndaquil smoothly. Cyndaquil, Fire Rat Pokemon attribute. Fire ability. Fierce Fire, Flash Fire. Hidden, learn moves, Flamethrower, when there is fire behind it, learnable moves, Smokescreen, Quick Attack, Agility, Flame Wheel, Swift, Flame Charge, Flare Blitz. Evaluation. This is a typical slow-burning Cyndaquil. It has not yet fully mastered fire skills. The fire behind it can only be stockpiled by dodging. It is recommended to guide it well after catching it. Sure enough, it is right. It has not fully mastered fire now. Just like in the original book, it can only release fire from its back after stockpiling. It's too noisy over there. Can you come to my place? Ash slowly stretched out his hand and gently held it in his arms. Cyndaquil seemed to enjoy his embrace and fell asleep unconsciously. It's really well behaved, Misty said. That's Cyndaquil's personality. On the other side, a dog-eat-dog fight was finally coming to an end. In the end, the Rocket Team's robot was the better one, using a special rubber ball to stick the young man to the ground and rolled him into a ball. This time it's our turn to fight, kid. Hand over your Pokemon. You almost woke it up, Oddish, Sunshine Flame. Ash threw Oddish's Pokemon ball out casually, and Oddish was also unambiguous. With a Sunshine Flame, the robot was bombed into pieces, and the three of them flew into the sky. Why is this the result again? This time I finally got a shot, Meow. And I was hit again, Meow. Let us appear more times next time. What a disgusting feeling. Hey, Cyndaquil, do you want to follow me? Ash said to him very gently. Hey. Cyndaquil seemed to understand what he meant and nodded affirmatively. Very good. I have captured Cyndaquil. Pikachu's skin. Damn it, that's mine. Let me go. I want to fight you, my Cyndaquil. The young man watched Cyndaquil being carried away and said angrily. Ash came to him, squatted down to look at him. Sorry, first come, first served. I captured it, and besides. Ash took out a piece of paper and stuffed it into his mouth. Shut your mouth. I don't want to hear you talk. Woo woo. He stared at them slowly, walking away with his eyes wide open, feeling extremely desperate. Who will save me? In this way, after capturing new companions, Ash and his party continued their journey to Azalea Town. To be continued, Cyndaquil, one of the three great families, was successfully captured. All kinds of requests, have fun reading books every day on the 11th. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP points. Recharge now, activity time, October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 29, Arrival at Azalea Town. New book, please support. It took Ash and his group another day to reach Azalea Town. Originally, according to the normal journey, after conquering Cyndaquil, they could reach the destination by hurrying on. As a result, Ash proposed to give Cyndaquil some special training. The situation at that time was like this. Ash, why did you think of giving Cyndaquil special training? Misty asked, puzzled. The reason is very simple. Cyndaquil has not yet fully mastered the fire skills, Ash said while looking at Cyndaquil, who was playing with Pikachu. Can you still see this? You will know when you see it. Cyndaquil, come here. Ash called Cyndaquil to come to him. Nino. Cyndaquil looked at Ash and tilted her head, as if to say, what's the matter? Cyndaquil, use flamethrower. Nino, Cyndaquil called out, but it just blew a small puff of smoke without any flame at all. No way? Shouldn't Cyndaquil have fire? That's when there's fire behind him. This Cyndaquil's personality is slow to warm up, so it needs to be developed. I've tried it before, and its dodgeability is pretty good. During this process, it can stockpile, but it's very disadvantageous in battle, so I wanted to activate its fire skills before the battle. After listening to Ash's explanation, Xiaojing nodded slightly, indicating that Ash now has a new understanding of Pokémon and no longer relies on enthusiasm like before. Ash, I support you. Anyway, we are not far from Azalea Town now. Doing more special training will be more beneficial for future gym battles. Xiaojing was the first to express his thoughts. I agree. You've really improved recently. Misty also said. Seeing the support of his two partners, Ash was very pleased. Then, they stayed in this forest for another day. After a day of training, Cyndaquil also mastered the fire skills. That is, she could release flames behind her through her stockpile. The next day, they set out on the journey again. This time, there were no obstacles along the way, and they arrived at Azalea Town, the location of the second gym. Azalea Town and the previous Violet City, from the name, are inferior. After all, one is a town and the other is a city. In terms of prosperity, they are also far apart. However, as the saying goes, mountains are not high, but they are famous for immortals. Water is not deep, but it is magical for dragons. Although this place is small, it is also very famous. There are two special points. One is that this is the location of the Azalea Gym, and the other is that there is an old man living here. This old man is named Orberg, who can use special round orange fruits to make Pokemon balls with special functions. And Ash and his friends really need Mr. Orberg's help in one thing, which is the special GS ball commissioned by Professor Oak, which happened to be given to Mr. Orberg for investigation. However, after leaving the forest, the sun became more and more scorching. When walking on the road, I found that the trees on both sides were withered and the fields were almost dead. It seems that it has not rained in the Azalea Town area for a long time. They decided to take a rest nearby, just in time for Cyndaquil to consolidate her mastery of fire skills. After a full rest, they finally arrived at Azalea Town. Because it has not rained for too long, the river is now dry. So all the entertainment venues in the town are closed, including the Azalea Gym. So, Ash and his group decided to go to Mr. Orberg first. To be continued. This chapter is a transition. Don't say I'm boring. To compensate, I'll give you something good in the next chapter. By the way, everyone, do you want to capture a Slowpoke? In the next update, I will write the plot of Slowpoke well, and the gym battle together to avoid turning everyone off. By the way, I saw that some people want the protagonist to capture Eevee. I am considering this. After all, the evolution form needs more control. Have fun reading every day during the 11th. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP points. Recharge now, activity time, October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 30, Slowpoke Well, Unexpected Capture. New book, please support. Although Azalea Town is just a small town, It has three characteristics. First, it is the location of the Azalea Gym. Second, it is home to Mr. Orberg, who can make special Pokémon balls. And third, the people here seem to coexist peacefully with Slowpoke. The reason for this is a legend from 400 years ago. 400 years ago, Azalea Town experienced a drought that was even more severe than it is now. At that time, the sun was scorching and the land was barren, and there was no water for a long time. Just when everyone was desperate, suddenly one day, a Slowpoke appeared. It yawned, and then the sky was overcast and big raindrops fell, saving the town. In order to commemorate Slowpoke's contribution to the town, the people here gradually formed a tradition, that is, to coexist with Slowpoke and worship Slowpoke as a god. In addition, the people in the town also dug a Slowpoke well for Slowpokes to live in, which can be regarded as a kind of feedback to them. Moreover, if you come from outside and step on a Slowpoke, the whole town will fight you. Unfortunately, Ash and his group happened to catch up with the drought. After a short rest, the piglets came to Azalea Town. However, due to the weather, the town has limited water supply, and most entertainment venues are closed, including the Azalea Gym. Therefore, Ash and his group plan to go to the Pokémon Center first and then visit Mr. Orberg. Because Ash has more than 6 Pokémon with him, and Cyndaquil is still outside, it is better to exchange them as soon as possible. After careful consideration, Ash decided to teleport the newly captured Oddish and the Squirtle he brought out. As for Oddish, he will let Bulbasaur train him for a while, and since he already is Bayleaf, he will let him go back. As for Squirtle, since this gym battle is not very favorable for the water type, it is better to let it go back for training. After all, as one of the first-generation members, his strength has reached a bottleneck. Like Bulbasaur, he needs an opportunity. As for what it is unknown. Professor, I'll ask you to take care of Oddish and Squirtle for me. Okay, I've received it here. Ash, you are in Azalea Town now. Don't forget what I told you. Don't worry, Professor. I will hand the GS ball to Mr. Orberg. After hanging up the phone with Professor Oak, Ash took Cyndaquil back because he had almost finished training outside. After Ash and his friends left the Pokémon Center, they came to Mr. Orberg's house. As a result, as soon as they arrived at Mr. Orberg's door, they were hit by a huge Slowpoke. Ash stopped Pikachu from discharge because he knew that the Slowpoke in front of him was just a person in a doll costume. It would be embarrassing if he accidentally hurt him. In addition, judging from the action just now, this person must have something wrong, otherwise he would not be so anxious. Ouch, my waist. Sure enough, an old voice came from here. Ash and Xiaojing hurried forward to help him up and asked, "Uncle, are you okay?" The Slowpoke uncle shook his head. It's okay. We're running out of time, so I'll leave now." Just as he was about to leave, the back pain caused by the collision came back. Ouch! Ash naturally knew what would happen, so without saying anything, he carried the uncle on his back and asked, "Uncle, where are you going?" "I'll take you there. I'm going to Slowpoke well. I heard a strange sound there." "Slowpoke well? Okay, let's go, Misty Xiaojing. I'll go first. You guys will come later." After saying that, Ash took a step and ran. For Ash, he knew who did it, so he rushed over without hesitation. The current Ash is much stronger than the original in terms of physique, and it didn't take long for him to reach the bottom of Slowpoke Well. Although the man on his back felt dizzy, he still said to Ash out of gratitude, "Ash, thank you." When they arrived at the bottom of the Slowpoke Well, Ash found someone familiar, and it was indeed related to them. "Team Rocket, I knew it was you." It turned out that the 3 members of Team Rocket also heard that the Slowpoke here could pray for rain. So they built this new machine, and as a result, they have caught several Slowpokes so far. If it were in the past, the 3 members of Team Rocket would definitely fight with Ash. But Team Rocket obviously didn't want to get entangled with him, so they drove the machine into the tunnel and ran away. "Don't run, give the Slowpoke back." When Ash caught up, they had already fled far away. Damn it! Just as Ash was about to use his wave power to track, suddenly, a Slowpoke that was a circle larger than the normal one came in front of Ash. He looked at Ash, then shouted loudly, and the rest of the Slowpokes left the Slowpoke well under his guidance. After arriving at a high ground above the well, Ash and his team also brought the uncle to where the Slowpokes were, and saw that all the Slowpokes actually started to use Yawn. After seeing this, Ash also understood that this was just Slowpoke's trick of begging for rain, but in form it looked like Yawn's trick. After a while, the originally sunny weather was instantly covered with dark clouds, and then heavy rain poured down, and the whole town was filled with laughter. The rain gathered again and poured into the well, and Team Rocket was washed out. Ash looked at them. Team Rocket, this time I will never let you off easily. Pikachu, Thunderbolt. Pikachu. After receiving Ash's order, Pikachu jumped off his shoulder, and a rushing yellow current hit them. Since the robot was already stained with water, even if it was insulated, it was useless. Under Pikachu's current, the robot exploded with a boom. What a disgusting feeling. After Team Rocket was blown away, the captured Slowpokes immediately returned to the Slowpoke leader. However, the big Slowpoke looked at Ash, then waved his hand, and a different Slowpoke appeared beside him. The difference was that the look in this Slowpoke's eyes revealed a different style, which could be a salted fish, but also be responsible in battle. Young man, Slowpoke God wants you to subdue it. The uncle said to him, I subdue it? Ash felt a little incredible. Slowpoke God nodded. Young man, this is a gift from Slowpoke God. Just accept it. Ash nodded, then took out the Pokemon ball. Well, please give me more advice, Slowpoke. Slowpoke decisively pressed the button and was taken in. Very good. I subdued Slowpoke. Pikachu. To be continued. Reading books every day on the 11th day. Top up 100 and get 500 VIP points. Top up now, event time. October 1st to October 7th, Chapter 31. Special Pokemon balls, get them. New book, please support. Ash and his group have now come to Mr. Orberg's house. It turns out that the person Ash and his group met before was Mr. Orberg. After learning more about it, they found out that Mr. Orberg is not only an outstanding craftsman who can turn round orange fruits into Pokemon balls, but he is also responsible for the protection of Azalea Town's Slowpoke Well. Ash handed the GS ball to Mr. Orberg according to Professor Oak's instructions. Unfortunately, even Mr. Orberg couldn't tell what material it was made of. However, after successfully handing the GS ball to Mr. Orberg, their mission was successfully completed. In order to thank them for saving themselves, not only did they give each of them a fastball, but they were also allowed to go to the back mountain to pick round orange fruits and make some special Pokemon balls for them. Ash gladly accepted this. After all, as a trainer, who would refuse a Pokemon ball for special purposes? What's more, this is something that can't even be thought of. There are 7 colors of tangerines: white, red, blue, black, pink, green, and yellow. All Pokemon balls made from different tangerines have different uses. Mr. Orberg's granddaughter, Chia, introduced to Ash and the others. Because there were only white tangerines in Mr. Orberg's backyard, he asked Chia to take them to the back hill to pick the fruits. After arriving at the back hill, Chia pointed to a tree full of pink tangerines and introduced, "This is a pink tangerine fruit. If you use it to make a Pokemon ball, you can use it to capture Pokemon of a different gender from your own Pokemon." Hearing this, Xiaojing immediately thought, this might be useful for Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny. Needless to say, this brother is just fantasizing at first glance. Misty pinched his ear without saying anything and interrupted this thought. Ash was helpless. It seemed that this big brother had a psychic, which was able to distinguish between Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny in different places. Who knew how he could distinguish them? This has always been a mystery. Unfortunately, these round orange fruits are not ripe yet and cannot be picked. Moreover, even if they are picked, they cannot be picked too many at a time, otherwise the tree will die. If you walk further, you will see a forest full of yellow, round, orange fruits. The moon ball made of this can be used to capture Pokemon that evolve with Moonstone. However, it is not ripe. When walking a little further, you will find a forest of green, round, orange fruits. That is the forest of green, orange fruits. You can make friend balls with this fruit. Looking again, Chia said, "It should be no problem to pick one of that fruit." Hearing this, Ash immediately prepared to pick it, but a group of bee drills appeared in front of them. This type of Pokemon is a typical group Pokemon. It can't cause damage alone, but once it attacks in groups, it's unbearable. It's really troublesome and difficult. Ash smiled slightly, and a blue light flashed in his eyes. He saw that the bee drills didn't move at all. He picked a green round tangerine fruit smoothly. When he returned to Misty Xiaojing, he said, "Are you ready to run away?" So he took the lead and ran with Qian Hui's hand. Misty Xiaojing followed closely behind. The bee drills also broke free and chased after them. Fortunately, they didn't chase far and went back. Ash looked at the green tangerine fruit in his hand and nodded with satisfaction. In his previous life, he felt sorry for Ash and the others when he saw this. Now, he just made up for this regret, and he felt very comfortable. Later, Qian Hui took them to pick 2 blue round tangerine fruits and 1 black round tangerine fruit. Blue tangerine fruit can be made into lure ball, which can easily catch Pokémon caught with fishing rod. Blue represents water type. Black tangerine fruit can be made into heavy ball, which can catch heavier Pokémon. In addition, Xiaojing also captured a Pinico who is very close to him, which can be regarded as adding a new companion to the team. After the Pokémon ball is made, Misty got a lure ball, Ash got a lure ball and a heavy ball, and Xiaojing got a friend ball. Next, it is to challenge Azalea Gym. To be continued, the gym battle in the next chapter begins, and the Hive badge is received. Have fun reading every day during the National Day. Recharge 100 to get 500 VIP points. Recharge now, event time, October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 32, Azalea Gym Battle, badge obtained, new book seeking support. The drought has been safely passed, and the whole town has returned to its normal track. In other words, the Azalea Gym has reopened. After Mr. Orbird told them about this, Ash decided to go to the Azalea Gym to challenge it immediately. This time, Ash was not going to let Misty go with him. The reason was very simple. This girl was afraid of insect Pokémon. If she went, it would undoubtedly cost her life. "Well, Misty, don't go with me when I challenge the gym this time," Ash said to her before leaving. "Huh? Ash, why?" Misty was a little confused. "If you go to this gym with me, you will go crazy." "Ash, why? Explain the reason to me." The reason is very simple. Azalea Gym is the gym of bug Pokémon. If you can accept it, go with me and Xiaojing. Sure enough, after Misty heard the 5 words bug Pokémon, her body couldn't help but tense up, and she said with a forced smile on her face, yes, you are right. I still won't go with you. It's okay. You stay here and help us see if the production of Pokémon balls is completed." In the end, Ash and Xiaojing went to Azalea Gym, and Misty stayed at Mr. Orberg's house, just in time to communicate with his granddaughter Chia. However, Ash unexpectedly cared about her this time, knew what she was most afraid of, and didn't let her go with him, and she had an inexplicable feeling in her heart. It seems that this wood is somewhat connected. There is no way Stephanie likes to think wildly. On the way, Xiaojing asked Ash, "I really didn't see that, Ash." "Huh? What's wrong? You didn't take the initiative to care about girls before, but now you consider Misty and don't let us go together. What's wrong with that? Misty is the only Stephanie among us, so of course I have to give priority to her. Is there anything wrong with that?" Xiaojing nodded. "Although it makes sense, it doesn't seem so simple for you." Ash waved his hand. Okay, let's get the badge first." After Ash and his friends entered the Azalea Gym, they found that the environment here was quite good. If they didn't enter it, it really looked like a botanical garden from the outside. Similarly, this place is indeed suitable for insect Pokémon to survive. Walking down the aisle, you can indeed see a lot of caterpie, which reminds Ash of a butterfree he captured in his previous life who lived with his girlfriend. He didn't know if it was doing well. He looked around. According to the original book, the gym trainer should be on a tree, but after looking for a long time, he didn't see any human figures except some caterpie and metapod. "Is anyone there?" Ash shouted, but no one responded. After walking a little further, Ash shouted again, "Is anyone there?" "Yes." At this time, he saw a boy in shorts from a tree. "Who are you?" "I'm Ash from Pallet Town, and I'm here to challenge the gym." "So you're the challenger?" "Hello. I'm the trainer of Azalea Gym, the gym trainer known as the walking dictionary of the insect Pokémon encyclopedia, Bugsy. If you can come and challenge me, I'll accompany you. But can you help me lift the ladder? I can't get down." It turns out that this guy is a potential joke. Ash complained, but still helped him enthusiastically. For this, Ash even complained, "Don't climb so high next time." "Haha, sorry, mistake." Bugsy brought Ash and Brock to the battle site, which turned out to be in the middle of a dense forest, very suitable for fighting insect Pokémon. From now on, Trainer Bugsy from Azalea Gym and Challenger Ash from Pallet Town will compete in a badge-based match. 3 Pokémon will be used, and only the Challenger can change Pokémon. I'll send it out first, the silent fighter among the bug Pokémon. Go, String Ball. In that case, Bayleaf, it's decided to be you. After Bayleaf came out, he habitually came to Ash's side and charm. Be good. This is your first battle, do well. You know I have a bug type, but you still use a grass type to fight? Do you think you can fight against the reverse attribute? You'll know if you try it, my Bayleaf. It's not that simple. Then I'll see what you can do. String Ball, use String Shot. Bayleaf, dodge it and use Razor Leaf. Bayleaf moved his limbs to avoid String Shot, and the leaves on his head also swung, and Razor Leaf also came towards it. String Ball, get out of the way. Bugsy gave the order, and the String Ball String Shot towards a tree, then swung over and avoided the Razor Leaf. It looks like this ball of string has also received special training. It actually thought of using this method to make up for its lack of speed. Xiaojing thought, the effect is good, but it is still too naive in front of Bayleaf. Bayleaf, use Sweet Scent upwards. As soon as Bayleaf sprinkled the purple sweet scent, the movement of the ball of string slowed down significantly. Take advantage of this moment, Bayleaf. Use the impact to knock it down, and finally use the body slam. Under Bayleaf's continuous attacks, the ball of string fainted. The ball of string loses its ability to fight, and Bayleaf wins. Good job, Bayleaf. Balala! Bayleaf shouted happily twice. When Bugsy took back the ball of string, he said to Ash, sure enough, he has a way to fight. Then my second Pokémon is the most arrogant and holy warrior among the insect Pokémon. Go, Metapod. After seeing Metapod, Ash thought that although Metapod's own combat power is not very good, since he dared to use it, he must have his own method. Come back, Bayleaf. Ash took back Bayleaf, and then said to Pikachu, Pikachu, please. Pikachu. Pikachu stood on the field. Ash actually took back Bayleaf. It seems that he has really improved a lot. Xiaojing thought, Metapod, use the impact. Pikachu, agility avoids. The impact of Metapod was indeed not simple. It actually smashed a hole where Pikachu was originally. Then it used the impact again, but Pikachu dodged it again. When it hit the tree, it actually knocked off a few leaves. The speed is really good, but can it be as fast as me, Pikachu? Pikachu agility, let it see your speed. Pikachu. Pikachu used agility. Metapod, use another impact. Metapod rushed over without reservation, but it did not hit Pikachu. Instead, Pikachu came behind Metapod through agility. Now, use Iron Tail. The tail flashed with metallic light and hit directly, and Metapod was knocked away. Metapod loses its ability to fight, and Pikachu wins. After Bugsy took back the Metapod, he said, Ash, you are very powerful. It has been a long time since I met a trainer who can let me take out the third Pokémon. Go, the contest bug Pokémon Warriors, Scyther. In that case, Heracross, it is decided that you will be the one. Facing Scyther, Ash took out Heracross, which is also a bug type, but Cyndaquil did not appear. This is also Ash's consideration. With his current contest condition, he was unable to fully inspire the flame of fighting spirit, which was very disadvantageous in the battle. Scyther, use Quick Attack. Heracross, use Aerial Ace. After Heracross dodged, it appeared behind Scyther, and then attacked with the big horn on its head, causing great damage. Don't give him a chance, use Night Slash. Heracross's claws hit Scyther's waist, and Scyther screamed in pain. Scyther, now use Mega Horn. Scyther loses the ability to fight. Heracross wins, and the winner is Ash from Pallet Town. Okay, Scyther, you've worked hard. Take a good rest. Bugsy took back Scyther. Ash, I'm convinced that you defeated me. This is the Hive Badge. It belongs to you. Ash took it. Very good, I got the Hive Badge. Pikachu, Ash, I look forward to fighting you again next time. Bugsy stretched out his hand. Ash held his hand. Okay, anytime. To be continued. The second badge, got it. The next destination, Goldenrod City. Let me reveal that there will be unexpected Pokémon captured. Read books every day during the National Day. Recharge 100 to get 500 VIP points. Recharge now. Activity time. October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 33 Ilex Forest. The Far-Fetched Monk. New book seeking support. After getting the Hive badge, Ash and Brock returned to Mr. Orberg's house to meet up with Misty. As for the GS ball, Mr. Orberg also investigated it. He meant that it was made of a special material and had a strange lock on it, but he didn't know how to open it. So he wanted to study it again. After all, the ball was too complicated. Ash agreed to this, but he proposed to try to return it if there was no result, and Mr. Orberg agreed. In this way, Ash and his party said goodbye to Mr. Orberg and continued their journey. On this day, they came to a forest. Ash knew that this was Ilex Forest, but he didn't remember what happened here, so he asked Brock, "Brock, where is this place?" "This is Ilex Forest. After leaving this forest, we should be able to reach Goldenrod City, the location of the third gym," Brock said as he flipped through the travel brochure in his hand. Goldenrod City? Misty got excited after hearing this. "I know this. This place is the largest city and economic and technological center in the Johto region, and it can be compared with our Saffron City in Kanto. In that case, it's decided. The next destination is Goldenrod City." Ash clapped his hands and decided. "But before that, shouldn't we think about how to get out of this forest?" Misty's question was like a bucket of cold water poured on Ash's head. Only then did he remember that he was still in the forest. "Oh yes, Xiaojing, are we lost?" Although he has the power of Waveguide, he doesn't want to use it yet. The reason is very simple. Sometimes getting lost will lead to more fun things. Xiaojing looked at the map and said calmly, "Well, as far as we can see, we are indeed lost. Alas, it seems that we are really directionally challenged. Don't be so depressed. I know someone who should be able to lead us out of this forest." After Ash scanned the surroundings with the Waveguide, he found a person who could help them. "Ah, Ash, are you serious? Of course, just follow me." At the same time, on the other side of the forest, Far-Fetched used the one-word chop. A young man ordered the Far-Fetched in front of him, but the Far-Fetched ignored him. "Please, Far-Fetched, use the one-word chop," the young man begged Far-Fetched. But Far-Fetched clearly looked like he didn't want to pay attention to you at all. And from his expression, it was getting angrier and angrier. Seeing this process, Ash couldn't help but step forward and said, "You even said the wrong name of Far-Fetched's special move. Of course it will be angry." "Did I do something wrong?" "Of course, Far-Fetched's special move is called the one-word chop, not the one-word chop." Ash corrected. "Yes, is that so?" "Ha, I said it wrong again. I can't remember the name of its special move, so it ignores me." "Now, it ignores me again?" "Yes, calling the wrong special move name one after another. Any Pokémon would be unhappy. It seems that I still need to work hard. Otherwise, I can't complete my training." "Of course you have to work hard. By the way, I haven't introduced myself after talking for a long time. I am Ash from Pallet Town, with Pikachu on my shoulder. And these two are my friends, Xiaojing and Misty." "Hello, my name is Xiaojing." "Hello, my name is Misty." "Pika Pika." "Hello, I'm Shangren." Shangren introduced himself, and then said to Ash, "Ash, can you help me? I need Far-Fetched." "Okay, but you have to tell me why you need Far-Fetched." "Actually, this Far-Fetched was given to me by my master." Shangren explained, "My master is a famous charcoal burner, and the charcoal he burns is also very famous. But Far-Fetched needs to cut down trees before he can take it back to burn charcoal. This is the practice my master gave me, and I must complete it. So that's how it is. I'm willing to help you. As compensation, you have to help us point out the exit of this forest afterwards." "No problem." Then, Ash taught Nando some of his experiences, letting him know that the relationship between trainer and Pokémon is very important. Finally, he proposed to have a battle with him, which would be more conducive to strengthening the bond. Shangren also agreed without hesitation. As a result, the two fought. Well, it was more appropriate to say that one side was beaten than to fight, and the one who was beaten was naturally Far-Fetched. The reason was very simple. Shangren didn't know how to command, so Far-Fetched could only passively take the beating. At first, Ash only ordered Pikachu to use Discharge, a move that was not very harmful. But seeing that he couldn't command, he was really anxious, so he directly asked Pikachu to use Thunderbolt to teach him a lesson. Later, Shangren saw Thunderbolt and was very worried about Farfetch'd, so he ran up and carried Farfetch'd away, thus avoiding the attack. Farfetch'd, I'm sorry, it's because I'm not good enough that you are like this. After hearing Shangren's words, Farfetch'd was finally moved by him, and the look in his eyes was no longer that kind of disgust. After seeing this, Ash smiled because he knew it was effective, so he ordered Pikachu. Pikachu, use Thunderbolt again. Farfetch'd, use Yixijan. This time, he called the name of the trick correctly, and Farfetch'd waved the onion stick in his hand to deflect Pikachu's Thunderbolt. That's enough, Ash asked Pikachu to stop fighting. It seems that you and Farfetch'd have a heart-to-heart connection, so you don't have to worry about him leaving you. Shangren nodded. Thank you for that. With Ash's help, Shangren was able to let Farfetch'd use Yixijan smoothly, cut down several trees, and brought them back to the master. To express his gratitude, Shangren not only led them to find the exit, but also gave them some of the homemade charcoal, which made Xiao Gang very happy, because this kind of charcoal is most suitable for cooking. After saying goodbye to Shangren, Ash and his party continued their journey. To be continued, the next chapter is the Leaf Town Exchange Conference, where Jesse's Wobbuffet will appear. Also, what Pokemon do you hope the protagonist will have at this exchange conference? You can leave a message in the comment area, and I will see it. Regarding Butterfree, I want to say that if public opinion is in favor, I will let it return during the Battle Frontier. Have fun reading every day during the National Day. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP points. Recharge now, event time. October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 34. An Adventure in Yeji Town, Part 1. Seeking support for the new book, led by Shangren, Ash and his party left the Ilex Forest and headed for the next destination, Goldenrod City. Xiaojiang looked at the travel guide in his hand and said, "We can go to Goldenrod City after leaving this forest, but according to our current route, we should pass through Leaf Town first." Leaf Town. Ash was still interested in this part of the plot. There are 2 points. One is that there will be a Pokemon exchange conference here, and trainers can exchange their Pokemon to get each other's Pokemon. Of course, the premise is what kind of Pokemon you want to cultivate, so you also have to observe other trainers' Pokemon to determine your goals. As for Ash, he decided to go and see what if he met a Pokemon he liked. But there is one thing: he will not exchange his own Pokemon. At most, he will catch what others want. As for the second point, it is the Tauros Chasing Conference. With his current skills, it should be easier to become the boy who touches the bull's horns. So, Ash and his friends decided to go to Leaf Town. Cyndaquil. Today you have to be able to easily inspire the flame of your fighting spirit. Understand? Ash said, looking at Cyndaquil at his feet. That's right. After leaving the woods, he let Cyndaquil out and let him master his fighting spirit along the way. He couldn't train him after being abused like in the original book. Ash is becoming more reliable now, Misty said to Ash while holding Togepi. Well, he is also growing up slowly. Xiaojiang nodded and said, while they were still moving at this time, you should straighten your back so that the posture will look better. And also, pay attention to your expression. If you don't pretend to be cute, how can others like you? A boy was talking to a blue but stupid-looking Pokemon. Ash and the others also saw the boy. Misty looked at the Pokemon and asked, "Who is that Pokemon?" "That's Wobbuffet, the Bide Pokemon." Ash answered before the boy. "Sonus." Wobbuffet called out in agreement. Ash looked at this Wobbuffet and found it familiar, so he checked his information. Wobbuffet, Bide Pokemon attribute, Psychic ability, Shadow Stepping, Telepathy, Hidden moves learned, Counterpunch, Counter, Mirror Coat. Moves learnable, Unknown Evaluation, a Pokemon that runs through all Pokemon animations. It ranks second in the number of appearances after Pikachu. It has its own consciousness and can use Counterpunch or Mirror Code according to the situation. Hint: there is a fateful bond between this Wobbuffet and Jesse. Sure enough, Ash was right. This is Jesse's Wobbuffet, or what later generations called Fruit Godwong. The reason is very simple. Although Jessie only said Counterpunch when she ordered it, it has its own combat consciousness and can make certain changes according to the situation. Its IQ is very high compared to its peers. Then he realized that he had been looking at it for a long time and said, "Sorry, your Wobbuffet is rare." And I was stunned for a moment. "Let me introduce myself. My name is Ash. My name is Misty. My name is Xiaojiang. Hello, my name is Ade." The boy just now also introduced himself. By the way, what are you going to do with Wobbuffet? I'm taking him to the exchange conference in Leaf Town, and I'm making the final adjustments for him now. Exchange conference. Yes, there is a big celebration in Leaf Town ahead, where a Pokemon exchange conference is held. It sounds great, but your Wobbuffet is so inconspicuous. Will anyone exchange it? Misty, Ash reminded softly, and Misty also realized that her language was inappropriate. If you look closely, it's still quite cute. Yes, I really like this Wobbuffet, but I still want to breed other Pokemon. You will succeed. Ash decided to secretly go with the flow and leave Wobbuffet to Team Rocket, otherwise the trip would always feel less fun. Then, Ash and his group went to Leaf Town with Ade. Just as they were about to go in, pedestrians on the streets suddenly screamed and told them to get out of the way. Then, Ash and his group felt a big noise in the distance. After asking, they found out that this was the Tauros chasing conference unique to this town. It is said that when a group of Tauros pass by, whoever can touch the horns of the leading bull will be called a hero. Have you touched the horn of Tauros? Pikachu, come with me. Pikachu. Then, he dodged and came to the front of the group of Tauros. The leading Tauros was very fast and was about to hit Ash. Ash pushed his feet on the ground, flipped in the air, and landed steadily on the back of the first Tauros. He rode it and took the rest of the Tauros to the venue. He appeared. The warrior of this Tauros chase conference appeared. He can not only touch the horn on the head of Tauros, but also ride on its back. Let's cheer for him and cheer for him. Host shouted excitedly. Wow! The atmosphere on the scene was pushed to a climax. Okay, next is the Tauros one-on-one duel we have been looking forward to for a long time. The so-called battle is that both sides take out Tauros at the same time, and whoever is pushed down first loses. Ash would definitely participate in this kind of situation, so he ran to the Pokemon Center and used Heracross to exchange for the strongest Tauros in Professor Oak's backyard. Okay, now Light has won 10 games in a row. If no one comes to challenge him, wait, there's another challenger coming up. It's the hero who just touched the horns. Can his Tauros be as good as his? I'm Ash from Pallet Town. Accept my challenge. After saying that, Ash released his Tauros. Okay, hero, come on. Tauros, use takedown. Then, the two Tauros collided horns against horns, and it was hard to tell who was the winner for a while. In the end, Ash's Tauros was still better and pushed Light's Tauros down. The winner is Ash from Pallet Town. He is worthy of being a young hero who can ride on Tauros. Most of the next rivals were not as good as Light, so Ash easily won 10 consecutive victories and won the championship. After the Tauros conference, it was the Pokemon Exchange Conference. To be continued, I'll leave it as a suspense here. What Pokemon will Ash get at this exchange conference? You can send your ideas in the comments section, and I will check it at any time. Have fun reading every day on the 11th. Top up 100 and get 500 VIP points. Top up now, event time. October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 35. Adventures in Yeji Town, Part 2. Seeking support. Ash was the star of the show in Leaf Town. First, he successfully touched Tauros' horn and rode on his back in the chase conference. Then, in the Tauros one-on-one duel, he won the game with his Tauros. As for the prize, it was just a trophy. Although it was not as big as the conference, it was better than nothing. It would be nice to keep it as a souvenir after returning. Then he set his sights on the Pokemon Exchange Conference. To be honest, he really wanted to see how his luck was, whether he was a European emperor or a non-European emperor, and gamble with his luck as a time traveler. As for why he had this idea, it was mainly influenced by some novels in later generations. His predecessor loved to read novels, and he had seen some people who traveled to become Ash, and their luck was very good. When writing this part, the role of the protagonist Halo was reflected, and he got a special Pokemon at this Pokemon Exchange Conference. So, under this invisible influence, Ash also wanted to see if he could have such luck. If he did, it would be the best, but if not, it would not be a loss. After scanning around, he found that there was really no special Pokemon. Instead, other trainers gathered around him after seeing him. Ade also saw the performance of Ash's Tauros and asked Wobbuffet, "Wobbuffet, do you want to try to exchange with Ash's Tauros?" "Sonus." Wobbuffet called willingly. Ade looked around and said, "I don't know where Ash went." After looking around, he really found Ash, so he prepared to come to find him. Ash's words, Wow, your Tauros is so awesome. Can I trade my Onyx with you? Can I trade my Iron Rhino with you? My Nidoking. My. Many trainers wanted to trade with Ash, but Ash would not agree. The reason was simple. His Tauros was the leader of the Tauros in the backyard and could not be easily traded out. Moreover, he took a quick look and found that their Pokémon were mediocre and had nothing special. Sorry, my Tauros may not be able to be traded with you. I can only say sorry. After hearing this, they left a little disappointed. Ade also heard this and felt a little disappointed. Ash happened to see him and asked, Ade, have you not found someone to trade with? Not yet, Ade said disappointedly, because no one was willing to trade with him yet. Ash saw that he should take him to find Team Rocket, so he said to him, Well, Ade, come with me. I will definitely help you fulfill your wish. If that's the case, thank you so much, Ash. Then Ash took Ade to the side of a switch, asked Ade to put Wobbuffet's Pokemon ball on it, and then waited. Not long after, 3 people dressed strangely came here. Ash recognized them as Team Rocket and then quietly kicked a stone on their way while Ade was not paying attention. Coincidentally, it was Jessie who was tripped by the stone. Ash secretly used Psychic to take out Lickitung's Pokemon ball and put it on the other end of the switch. After the exchange, he returned the Pokemon ball intact to Jessie. The whole process was smooth, and no one noticed. After they left, Ash took out the Pokemon ball that had been exchanged, handed it to Ade, and said, Here, Ade, look at your new partner. Ah, is it ready now? Ade curiously opened the Pokemon ball, and a Lickitung stood in front of him. Wow, it's a Lickitung. Ash, please thank the original owner of Lickitung for me. I will take good care of him for her. Ade said with surprise. Don't worry, I will tell you, Ash said with a smile, and then said silently in his heart, Jessie, I hope you will be satisfied with my present. Then, Ash looked around again, but still couldn't find what he liked. When he was about to give up, suddenly, a Pokemon next to Stephanie attracted his attention. This is a Ponyta, but it is different from the normal Ponyta because the color of its head, limbs, and tail is not the common red, but the main color is red, with light purple and blue-green flames. Others may think it's nothing, but Ash is a crossover, so he naturally knows that this color represents the breath of Galar in his bloodline. Ponyta, Fire Horse Pokemon attribute. Fire, Fairy, not activated ability. Escape, Flash Fire Body, hidden. Danger Prediction, not activated. Learn moves, Tackle, Ember, Agility. Flamethrower Stomp, Flame Vortex. Learnable moves, Confusion, Psybeam, Fairy Wind, Psychic, Fire Blast, Flare Blitz, Flame Charge. Evaluation. An extremely rare Ponyta with the blood of the Galar region, but due to improper guidance, the fairy system is not fully activated. If it is guided well, it can become a unique Ponyta. Sure enough, Ash took a fancy to the Ponyta with special blood. So he said to this little Stephanie, Little sister, brother wants to exchange with your Pokemon. What kind of Pokemon do you want? I want a water type. Water type? Ash thought for a while and whispered to Pikachu. Pikachu nodded and ran away. After a while, Pikachu came back with a Poliwag that he had knocked unconscious. After Ash captured it with a Pokemon ball, he said to the little Stephanie, Little sister, can you exchange the Poliwag here with your Ponyta? When she heard it was Poliwag, the little girl nodded vigorously. In this way, Ash got this special Ponyta as he wished. As for his experience, Ash didn't want to ask more. However, Misty and Xiaojing didn't know about this. They also said goodbye to Ade and continued to Goldenrod City. As for Team Rocket, they also saw Wobbuffet. When did I have this Pokemon? It seems that you exchanged it on the Switch at that time. Alas, it seems that this one will become one of us, Meow. Sonus. To be continued. How about it? Is it very unexpected? I made a fusion of a Ponyta with special bloodline, and it has both attributes, which can be regarded as a future general. Looking at this special Ponyta, please support me. Have fun reading every day during the National Day. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP points. Recharge now. Activity time. October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 36 Squirtle's Choice. Seeking support. Ash teleported Tauros back to Professor Oak's laboratory. As for Tauros, he wanted to let it run freely in the backyard of Professor Oak's laboratory. As for training, he would wait for a chance later. The team around him now was Pikachu, Pidgeot, Bayleaf, Cyndaquil, Slowpoke, and the newly acquired Ponyta. Ash, did you exchange Pokémon at the Pokémon Exchange Conference? Brock looked at his slightly raised mouth and guessed that he must have got a good Pokémon. Hey, actually I did get a very good Pokémon. So he took out Ponyta's Pokémon ball and said, "Come out and meet everyone." A flash of white light passed, and Ponyta appeared in front of them. Wow, it's Ponyta! Ponyta's cute appearance instantly melted Misty. Huh, the color of this Ponyta seems to be different from the normal Ponyta, Mikey. Brock was observant and could see the difference of Ponyta at a glance. Now that you mention it, it seems so. I checked this Ponyta, and there is no problem. As for its color, it should be a feature. Anyway, isn't it good to have another companion? Ash did not tell them about Ponyta's hidden attribute because it was too shocking. Unknowingly, they came to the outside of a town where a firefighting competition was being held. Seeing this, Ash remembered that Squirtle, one of his most capable generals, might have to say goodbye to him. He wanted to teleport Squirtle back, but there were already 6 Pokémon around him. Who should he teleport back? Heracross was temporarily being studied by Professor Oak, so it would definitely not be brought back for a while. As for Ponyta, he planned to train with him for a while, and then wait until it evolved before talking about other things. After thinking about it, he decided to teleport Pidgeot back. After all, it could let it get familiar with the environment in the backyard. So, he teleported Pidgeot back and Squirtle back. Although he didn't want to face it, what was coming would eventually come. When the time came, he was still willing to respect Squirtle's decision. It was best for him to decide whether to go or stay. Hey, isn't this Ash? As soon as they came in, they saw an acquaintance. Mr. Russell? Ash remembered this person through his previous memories. He met him in the Orange Islands. At that time, he was the head of the Wartortle Fire Department. Now he also brought the Wartortle Fire Department to participate in the competition. Squirtle was also the captain of a Squirtle team before. Later, he volunteered to follow Ash. The other 4 Squirtless followed the local officer Jenny to form a local fire department. It is estimated that they will arrive soon. And here, there are many masters including the Quagsire team, the Golduck team, the Water Pokemon team, etc. Everyone cheer up. We must cheer up. On the other side, Officer Jenny has been cheering for the Squirtless, but since the Squirtless are in such a big place for the first time, they will inevitably be a little nervous. Ash and the others also saw that after parting with Russell, they came to Jenny. Squirtle, it's you. Ash released his Squirtle and let it meet his companions. Squirtle was very happy to see his companions. They high-fived each other with their tails. This is their unique way of greeting. Xiaojiang wanted to go up and chat, but was ruthlessly pulled away by Misty. Soon, the firefighting Grand Prix will begin. Ash didn't want to participate. This is different from the normal Pokemon battle. This tests the cooperation between Pokemon, and it is more advantageous for the same species. The firefighting Grand Prix is finally about to open. This is the Pokemon Fire Brigade from all over the country. The competition is in the form of 4 teams. The first game is the firefighting competition. The 2 sides are the Mook team and the Squirtle team, which is participating in the competition for the first time. The game begins. At the beginning, 2 small houses on the field caught fire. Because it was the first time for the Squirtle team to participate, they were not particularly skilled. On the contrary, the Mook team, although not a water-based team, was relatively effective in extinguishing the fire by hugging each other to isolate the air. What are you doing? Hurry up and concentrate the water to put out the fire. As a result, Officer Jenny's order did not work very well. Squirtle, go help your companions. Ash patted its little head and said. After the Squirtle got the signal, it came directly to the field and stepped on their tails. Click, click, click. The Squirtle screamed in pain and then saw their boss behind them. Jenny, Jenny, Jenny. Jenny, Jenny, Jenny. Squirtle's orders gave them a backbone. The Squirtle began to adjust their postures and used the water gun together. Soon, a lot of the fire was extinguished. After all, the Mooks were not water-based, and this method was not very efficient, so the Squirtle won. The game is over. The winner is the Squirtle team. Although the Squirtless won, Ash's Squirtle seemed to be saying something, then turned around and sprayed a mouthful of water gun on Jenny's face. Squirtle, What are you doing? After seeing Squirtle's eyes, she also understood that her command was also very problematic, and the trainer's emotions could affect Pokémon. In the subsequent games, Ash's Squirtle encouraged them on the side, and the Squirtless quickly adjusted back to the contest condition and successfully won the firefighting Grand Prix. After the game, Ash's Squirtle wanted to follow his brothers because they were not particularly reliable and needed to maintain order by himself. On the other hand, under Ash's training, he not only learned Hydro Pump, but also Water Pulse and Aqua Tail. After being teleported back, he also realized the Freezing Ray. He also wanted to stay with Ash so that he could learn more powerful moves. For a while, she was in a dilemma. Squirtle, follow your heart. I will respect your decision. Ash said to it gently. Jenny. Squirtle looked at Ash, then looked back at Jenny and the Squirtless. Squirtle, don't worry. I will definitely lead them to become the best firefighters. Jenny said confidently. Jenny. The Squirtless also talked to Ash's Squirtle, roughly meaning, Big brother, we have gone through the experience this time, and we will not let you worry in the future. You follow this trainer. Finally, Ash's Squirtle nodded firmly, came to Ash, closed his eyes and exerted force, and the light of evolution burst out of his body. Soon, a strong Wartortle appeared in front of Ash, which meant that he wanted to follow Ash and fight with him. Ash smiled. Welcome, Wartortle. To be continued. How about it? Are you satisfied with this result? One more thing. I will decide the order of appearance and capture based on the votes for the votes initiated. Please pay attention. As for Bulbasaur, I will find a suitable opportunity to evolve it. Have fun reading every day during the National Day. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP points. Recharge now. Activity time. October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 37, Jigglypuff seeking support. What a pity I didn't catch Wooper. Don't be discouraged. Wooper is bred by the nursery after all, not wild, and they should have lost some of their fighting spirit, so it's not easy to cultivate. So you don't have to feel sorry. After leaving Wooper's nursery, Misty still felt a little unwilling, because Wooper is a water and ground Pokemon, and water is Misty's favorite, so of course she wanted to catch it. But the catch failed. Misty, you will meet better ones in the future, definitely. After comforting Misty, they continued to move towards Goldenrod City. Here, Ash teleported Wartortle back, not because she didn't care, but just wanted Wartortle to adapt to the appearance and power after evolution. If there is another reason, it is to stimulate Bulbasaur to see if it can evolve into Ivysaur, because Bulbasaur's current level is already able to evolve. When we were in Kanto before, when we passed the Wonder Garden, Bulbasaur could evolve, but he didn't want to evolve because he wanted to prove that he could become stronger even without evolving. I believe that after Wartortle evolves, Bulbasaur should change his mind. Back to the present, they passed a hill. After this hill, it is the Onyx Cave. Xiaojang said while looking at the map. Onyx Cave? Misty asked curiously. Well, it is said that there are many Onyx living in it. If we pass through there, it will be very troublesome? This is very simple, Ash said. Onyx is most afraid of water Pokemon, so we can use water Pokemon when we pass by. Another thing is that we should not hurt those Onyx when we pass by. After all, we disturb their rest first. Yeah, that's for sure. Misty nodded. How about we take a break today and go through that cave tomorrow? Okay, let's take a break first, and we can do some special training. Ash was referring to Ponyta and Cyndaquil. On the other side, Team Rocket was also passing through this cave, but unfortunately disturbed the rest of the Onyxes, and they ran out in a panic. What should we do? I remember that Onyx is very afraid of water Pokemon. But we don't have water Pokemon, Meow. Meowth's words hit them directly. At this time, Ash and his friends were about to walk through the Onyx Cave. On the way, they saw a blue with a bow tied on its ears appear in front of them. It sniffed around and seemed to be looking for something. Isn't this the blue? Why is it here? Is it here to practice as well? No. You see his behavior. It seems to be looking for something. Ash knew that Blue must be looking for Meowth. To him, Meowth's tail seemed to have some magic that allowed it to chase here. What is it looking for? I'll go ask. I can understand what Pokemon say. Just when Ash was about to ask, suddenly, a Jigglypuff holding Matt Wind appeared. Ash was about to tell them to cover their ears, but Jigglypuff suddenly sang. Ash and the others, including Blue, fell asleep. So Jigglypuff naturally went to the next step, graffiti. 10 minutes later, Blue woke up and continued to look for what he was looking for. As a result, when he passed by the river, he found graffiti on his face. Blue was very angry. He looked up and saw a Jigglypuff graffiti. He stepped forward and tackled, snatched Jigglypuff's matte wind, and then left. After the matte wind was taken away from Jigglypuff, he was very disappointed and became listless when walking. Coincidentally, Ash and the others met Jigglypuff again. Huh? Isn't this Jigglypuff? Is it going to— Wait a minute, Misty. Jigglypuff's contest condition is obviously wrong. Ash walked up to him and asked him, Jigglypuff, what happened? Jigglypuff, Jigglypuff, Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff said excitedly, and Ash nodded slightly after listening. I know, Misty Xiaojing. Jigglypuff said that its matte wind was taken away by a Pokémon wearing a bow on its head. Ash translated for them. Pokémon with a bow. Isn't it Blue? Well, Jigglypuff, I'll take you to find your matte wind. Jigglypuff nodded. My tail, my tail. As soon as I heard the sound, I knew that Blue had found Meowth and bit Meowth's tail. Isn't this Blue from that time? How did it catch up? Was it because of Meowth? Jessie guessed. Okay, Meowth, isn't it just a bite on the tail? Is that a big deal? How can you feel this pain without a tail? It would be a good idea if Blue could join us. I disagree. At this time, Ash brought Jigglypuff to Team Rocket. Jigglypuff saw his matte wind and wanted to take it back, but Blue didn't want to give it to him. As a result, both Pokémon started to use double slap on each other, and neither side gave in. Finally, Meowth also wanted to mediate the fight, but was beaten by 2 Pokémon, and Meowth also joined the melee. Okay, stop fighting. Ash stepped forward to mediate the fight, and Jigglypuff also took back his matte wind at this time. Pikachu used Thunderbolt to send them away. Pikachu, the current hit them, and an explosion blew them away. We didn't even say the lines. There weren't many shots. What a disgusting feeling. When Blue saw Meowth and the others fly away, he quickly ran in that direction. Jigglypuff started singing again, and Ash was hypnotized again without any preparation. Being hypnotized twice a day was okay. As a result, his face, which had just been washed, was graffitied again. However, Jigglypuff also helped them invisibly, because you can see the graffiti on the faces of the Onyxes in the Onyx Cave. In this way, after 2 twists and turns, Ash and the others continued their journey, and their destination was Goldenrod City. To be continued, someone rewarded me today, and the reward happened to be over 1,000, so I added another chapter on a whim. I hope to satisfy you. Thank you. Have fun reading every day during the National Day. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP points. Recharge now. Activity time. October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 38. Conquering the Houndour Clan. Seeking support. Good, Cyndaquil. It seems that you have completely mastered the flame of your fighting spirit. Ash said with satisfaction as he looked at Cyndaquil, who had already ignited the flame of fighting spirit. After coming out of the Onyx Cave, they continued to move towards the direction of Goldenrod City. After arriving at a forest, they decided to take a break. As for Ash, he released Cyndaquil and Ponyta. It was time for Cyndaquil to master the fire-type moves. He let Ponyta act as rival, constantly stimulating him through battles to let him ignite the flame of fighting spirit, and at the same time, trained himself in the process. Fortunately, after the previous special training, Cyndaquil successfully ignited the flame of fighting spirit and comprehended swift, smokescreen agility, which are more suitable for its flexible moves because it was good at dodging attacks before. Ponyta also learned skills such as double team, stomp, and flame wheel. And now, although he seems to be supervising them, he has actually put his mind on the mall system. There were so many things on display that Ash wanted to buy them all, but he chose to be practical. Considering his lineup, he first exchanged the prop bike voucher for an electric bead, and then used the discount coupon to buy a water stone, a King's Rock, and 2 metal films. After all this consumption, he still had half of his mission points left, so Ash saved them for next time. Ash, it's time for lunch. Misty called Ash to come over for lunch. Ah, I see. Ash replied, you guys come back and take a rest first. Then he took Cyndaquil and Ponyta back. After returning to the camp, Ash said to them, Sorry to have kept you waiting. Ash, how is the special training going? Misty asked. It's going well. Cyndaquil has basically mastered the flame of fighting spirit, and Ponita has also learned a lot of new moves. By the way, Ash, bring the bread over here, Xiaojing said to Ash. Ash nodded and walked towards the place where the backpack was placed. However, when he went to get the backpack, he found that it was gone. Huh? Why is the backpack gone? But we are here and didn't notice anyone coming. Ash didn't say anything, but turned on his wave power and scanned the surroundings. He found a series of footprints on the ground, and from the shape, it should be the footprints of some kind of dog Pokémon. Ash naturally knew that these were Houndour's footprints, but in order to make things develop smoothly, he did not directly say the name of the Pokémon, but said that there were some footprints. Did this Pokémon steal the food in your backpack? Misty analyzed. Ash and Xiaojing both thought it made sense. After all, Ash's badge, Pokemon Ball, and Pokédex were all on him, so there were no valuable items in it, and the rest was food. The footprints are going in the direction of the forest. Let's catch up. So, Ash and his friends didn't have time to eat lunch, so they followed the footprints. As a result, when they chased deep into the forest, the footprints were interrupted. Coincidentally, they were hungry. Ash, I'm so hungry. After hearing Misty's words, Ash suddenly had an idea and said to Xiaojing, Xiaojing, we should have some food. Let's prepare some quickly. Oh, we still have ham, which is just right for making ham sandwiches. So, the three of them set up the tent again and started to make a fire to cook. As for the ham, it was also roasted very fragrantly. Unknowingly, it was dark, and the moon tonight was particularly round. After Ash's hard wait, the target finally appeared. I saw a black shadow instantly heading towards the ham, and then disappeared in the blink of an eye. Ash wanted to investigate, but it was too late. Ash, what was that just now? Misty asked with lingering fear. If I'm not mistaken, it should be Houndour. Ash said the name of this Pokemon. Houndour. Well, let's go and see. So, Ash and the others took the food and went in the direction where Houndour ran. As a result, when they arrived here, they found that there were many pairs of eyes staring at them. After a closer look, they found that they were also Houndours. It seems that we have come to their territory, Ash said slowly. Then what should we do? It's very simple. To catch a thief, we must first catch the leader. After that, Ash turned on his wave guide and communicated with them. I want to find your boss for a one-on-one duel. A few Houndours howled, and then they saw a Houndour that was taller and more powerful than them appeared in front of them. This guy was obviously at the level of the King of Dogs. There were obvious scars on his face and forehead bone armor, and it was obvious that he had been through many battles. Houndour Dark Pokemon Attribute: Evil, Fire Ability, Flash Fire, Tension, Hidden, Learn Moves, Flamethrower, Odor Sleuth, Smog, Roar Bite, Leer, Feint Attack, Foul Play, Fire Fong. Learnable Moves: Shadow Ball, Double Team, Fire Blast, Flame Charge, Dark Pulse, Flame Vortex, Counter, Pursuit. Evaluation: This is just the king of the Houndour tribe. It has very strong combat experience and fighting desire. It can bravely stand up and fight for its companions. If it is captured, it will definitely be one of the capable generals. Okay, Cyndaquil, it's decided to be you. Ash sent Cyndaquil to fight. Cyndaquil, let me see your fighting spirit. As soon as the voice fell, the flame of fighting spirit appeared behind Cyndaquil. Houndour took the initiative and spit out a flamethrower. Cyndaquil was not to be outdone and also spit out a flamethrower. After the two flames exploded, Cyndaquil used agility to get close to Houndour. Just as he was about to use Takedown, Houndour easily dodged it. It turned out that it had already used Odor Sleuth Lock on Cyndaquil's position, so it could perfectly avoid it. Cyndaquil missed the first attack, and when he looked again, he didn't see its shadow. Cyndaquil, be careful. Ash's reminder was a little late, and Cyndaquil was knocked away by the sudden appearance of Houndour. It's Feint Attack. Ash said the name of this move. Just as the battle was about to continue, suddenly, a miserable growl came from the other end. Houndour, the king of dogs, immediately went to the source of the sound, and the other Houndours followed. Let's go too. Ash took back Cyndaquil and followed first, followed by Misty and Xiaojing. He followed the Houndour to a cave and saw that his backpack was opened, and there were some food packages on the side. As for the roar just now, it came from another injured Houndour. In front of it was a golem, and the Hounder's flamethrower had no effect at all. Just when the golem was about to attack, a flamethrower suddenly fell from the sky and stopped it. The flame was spit out by the King of Dogs. The rest of the Houndours also protected the injured Houndour in a circle. Misty and Xiaojing also ran over. After seeing all this, they immediately understood. It turns out that they are collecting food everywhere to save their companions. Ash stood directly in front of the King of Dogs and said, "Xiaojing, please take a look at the Hounder's injuries first. Bayleaf, it's decided to be you. Use Razor Leaf." Ash threw Bayleaf's Pokemon ball. Pa pa pa. Bayleaf waved the leaves on his head, and countless Razor Leaves hit Golem. Because of the fourfold restraint, Golem was scared away directly. On the other side, Xiaojing said after reading it, "The situation is urgent. We must send it to the Pokemon Center." Ash heard it, took back Bayleaf, and carried Houndour to the Pokemon Center. Ash, there is no other way. Xiaojing Misty, quickly pack up and catch up. After saying that, he ran to the Pokemon Center with the injured Houndour on his back. Along the way, Ash and the 5 Houndours took turns carrying the injured Houndour and soon arrived at the Pokemon Center. When Misty Xiaojing arrived, they found that Houndour was out of danger. After a day of rest, Ash said to them, "Houndour, take your tribe and follow me. I will give you a good life, at least not like you did before. How about it?" The Houndours looked at each other and nodded. Among them, the Houndour King came to Ash. From his intention, it seemed that he wanted to follow him. "Then, please give me more guidance, Houndour." Ash took out an empty Pokemon ball, and the Houndour King slapped it up without hesitation and was taken in. "Very good. I have captured Houndour. Pikachu." The rest were sent to Professor Oak's laboratory, where they should become qualified guards. To be continued, Houndour came to report, asking for support. Have fun reading every day on the 11th. Recharge 100 to get 500 VIP points. Recharge now. Activity time. October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 39. The 3 great families of Johto region gathered, seeking support after capturing Houndour. Ash had 6 Pokemon around him, including Pikachu, Bayleaf, Cyndaquil, Slowpoke, Ponyta, and the newly captured Houndour. Then, Ash teleported Slowpoke back to the Pokemon Center. He didn't have to worry about this Slowpoke because he secretly checked that this Slowpoke was not weak and had a relatively high IQ. Moreover, the Totodile in the original book was about to arrive. Among the 3 of them, only Misty didn't capture a new Pokemon, while Ash and Xiaojing each had something. So, she decided to capture a Pokemon. So, at her strong request, the group came to a river and said they wanted to fish for Pokemon. In fact, it was mainly because Ash and Misty both had lure balls that specifically caught water Pokemon, and Misty's suggestion that they decided to stay here. "Misty, does your bait work?" Ash asked a little worriedly as he watched her making bait, and said that he was a talented little angler and would definitely get something with his special bait. After hearing this, Misty looked at Ash with a very dissatisfied look and said, "Ash, don't doubt me. I am a world-class beauty and a professional in fishing. You will definitely succeed if you use my Misty special bait number 1. If it doesn't work later, your face will be slapped." "Why? You slapped me in the face." "Ah, Ash, don't say that." No matter what they said, fishing had to continue. So the 2 of them sat by the river and started fishing. In this way, time passed slowly for a long time. "Misty, it doesn't matter if I can't catch any fish. Aren't you born to fish? Why haven't you caught anything yet?" Ash looked at the 2 motionless fishing rods and couldn't help complaining. "It's definitely a matter of time. Don't be in a hurry when it comes to fishing. By the way, Ash, which Pokemon do you want to catch?" Misty asked. "For me, it would be best if it was a Shelder, so that Slowpoke can evolve. For a Shelder, I can ask my sister to send one to you from the Cerulean Gym. Why do you have to fish it yourself? Maybe it would be more fulfilling this way. By the way, Misty, have you ever considered evolving your own Pokemon, such as your Stereo?" Ash knew that Misty had a Stereo that was very compatible with her. If it could evolve into Starmie, the combat power would be greatly improved. However, the evolution of Stereo requires an evolution stone, that is, a water stone which happened to be in Ash's system space. If necessary, he could take it out immediately. Before Misty could answer, the fishing rod in her hand suddenly moved. Misty pulled it hard, and it turned out to be a broken kettle. Damn, can you do a good job of sorting garbage next time? Misty threw the kettle aside angrily. I didn't expect that there are such people without public morality in this world, Ash thought with amusement. At this moment, Ash's fishing rod suddenly moved. Ash tried to pull it and found that the prey was very strong. Then Ash activated his wave power and instantly added a strength buff. As a result, a small blue crocodile appeared in front of them. It was Totodile from the Johto region. Totodile, Big Jaw Pokemon attribute. Water ability, Torrent Force, Hidden Learn moves, Leer, Bite, Water Gun, Slash, Headbutt Tackle. Learnable moves, Ice Fong, Aqua Tail, Water Pulse, Hydro Pump, Ice Punch, Superpower Crunch. Evaluation, a very lively Totodile. Unlike normal Totodile, it is very lively and uses its dance steps to avoid attacks. If guided properly, it can use Sword Dance to strengthen itself. No way. Ash, your luck is really against the sky. You even caught a Totodile. Misty said enviously. This is all thanks to your bait. Ash replied, Bayleaf, it's decided to be you. Ash took out the grass-type Bayleaf. He wanted to try whether this Totodile would be as flexible as the original. Bayleaf used Razor Leaf. Bayleaf swung the leaves on his head, and many Razor Leaves attacked Totodile, but Totodile still danced to avoid the attack. Sure enough, Totodile's dance is very different. Bayleaf used the Sweet Breath to seal his movement. As the purple Sweet Breath spread, the originally jumping Totodile became drowsy and no longer as flexible as before. Now go Lure Ball! Ash threw the Lure Ball decisively, and Totodile was captured without any surprise. Very good, I captured Totodile. Pikachu, Balala. Afterwards, when Ash took Misty for special training, Misty's Poliwag evolved into a mosquito frog. The original tail was gone, replaced by hands and feet, and the pair of big eyes looked quite cute. Poliwag is so handsome. This sticky muscle feels so good to touch, Misty said while lying on Poliwag. Misty, congratulations on your Poliwag's evolution. This is a water stone, which I got by chance before. It is useful for the evolution of Staryu and Poliwag. Take it. Ash took out the water stone that he had exchanged in the system mall before from his backpack and gave it to Misty. After Misty took it, she said, Thank you, Ash. I will make good use of this water stone. To be continued, the last of the Johto region's 3 major families, Totodile, came to report. Totodile dance for everyone. Everyone, please take a look and give some support. By the way, there is one more thing. Ash now has a heavy ball. Which Pokemon do you think is suitable for catching? I saw someone said that he wanted to catch Talon, so how about it? Or are there other suitable candidates? Reading is fun every day on the 11th. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP points. Recharge now. Activity time. October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 40 Welcome. Kalava, seeking support. After taming Totodile, Ash and his team set out on their journey to Goldenrod City. At this time, they were preparing to go to the Pokemon Center. Along the way, Ash taught Totodile some water-type moves and taught him some auxiliary moves that could enhance the power of his own moves. For example, he learned the move Sword Dance based on his dance steps, and also learned the 2 close-range skills Aqua Tail and Ice Fong. This time when they went to the Pokemon Center, they teleported Totodile back first, because sometimes it is faster to understand and master the moves through battle training, and maybe they can understand new moves by themselves. By the way, they can also find a partner for Wartortle. I believe that the 2 water-type starters will definitely improve each other. Professor Oak, Totodile is in your hands. Ash said to Professor Oak on the phone. Okay, I received Totodile here, and I will leave the training to me. Professor Oak said after receiving Totodile's Pokemon Ball. By the way, Professor Oak, how is Oddish doing recently? It has made great progress now. It has learned Razor Leaf from Bulbasaur, and its combat power has also been greatly improved. Really? That's great. After talking for a while, Ash hung up the phone, and Nurse Joy took care of his Pokemon. When the group was about to go out, suddenly, a boy ran in with an injured Growlithe and collided with Ash head-on. and both of them were knocked to the ground. It hurts. Ash was also knocked to the ground by the sudden boy, and he still felt very painful. Xiaojing stepped forward and asked Ash, "How is it? Are you okay?" Ash shook his head to indicate that he was fine. Misty noticed the injured Growlithe in the boy's arms and asked, "Excuse me, is the Growlithe in your arms injured? Why are you running so fast? I lost in the Pokémon battle. So you were so anxious to come and treat him?" Xiaojing said. The boy nodded and said, "That Pokémon trainer is very powerful." "Where is that powerful trainer you mentioned?" Ash saw this and remembered this part of the plot. In the original book, the trainer Pokémon was Skarmory, a Steel-type Pokémon. He had a duel with Ash's Cyndaquil, but lost the first time. Then Ash took Cyndaquil for special training, and finally let Cyndaquil master the Fire-type trick, thus defeating Skarmory. This time, Ash's Cyndaquil had already mastered the Fire-type trick in advance, and had a qualitative breakthrough in physical strength. I believe that even if facing Skarmory, it will not fall behind like in the original book. So, Ash made up his mind to go once, and decided to use Cyndaquil to defeat Skarmory again. "Where is that powerful trainer?" "It's on the bridge at the top of the mountain." The boy said the place, so when you go there, it's best to avoid that bridge. And then he picked up Growlithe and went to the Pokemon Center. "Goodbye." "Ash, you look like you must go." Xiaojing looked at Ash and said, "Of course. I'm excited to meet a powerful trainer. But we don't know what Pokemon rival uses yet. No matter what Pokemon it is, I will fight it. Everything unknown will arouse my desire to win. Let's go." After saying that, Ash went to that place first. Misty and Xiaojing looked at each other and had to follow. Soon, they arrived at that place, but they looked left and right and didn't see any figure. "Ah, over there." Misty saw a figure standing by the bridge. It was a girl with a good figure and good looks. After seeing this, Xiaojing teleported to her, held her hand, and said affectionately, "My beautiful lady, my name is Xiaojing. Can you tell me your name?" Just when Misty was about to step forward and pull him away, she didn't expect that Stephanie didn't feel disgusted, but introduced herself. "My name is Mikey." "Wow, what a cute name. Come on. This place may be dangerous at any time. Let me accompany you on the road." "I ask you, do you have a fire Pokémon?" "Of course I do." "Then I'll leave it to you." Unexpectedly, Stephanie's face turned cold in an instant. She pulled back her right hand held by Xiaojing, took out her Pokémon ball, and retreated to a suitable distance and said, "Use one Pokémon. Let's duel." "Ah, so that's it." Xiaojing felt like a bucket of cold water was poured on his head, and his enthusiasm was extinguished. "Yes, that's right. So, the trainer who recruited people to fight on the bridge is her." Misty understood. "Okay, I understand. Since you want to fight, I don't mind being your rival." It seems that Xiaojing has calmed down. "That's really touching. Then I will send out my Pokémon. Go, Skarmory." Mikey threw her Pokémon ball, which contained a Skarmory. Ash smiled slightly. "It seems that it is true." "Ash, what's the matter?" Skarmory is a Steel-type and Flying-type Pokémon. The Steel-type attribute is quite special. Among the known attributes discovered so far, only the Ground-type, Fighting-type, and Fire-type can cause damage to the Steel-type. And Skarmory also has the Flying-type. Although it has the weakness of the Electric-type, it overcomes the weakness of the Ground-type and also has a counter-restraint effect on the Fighting-type. So, the only two attributes that can really hurt Skarmory are Electric and Fire. After listening to Ash's analysis, Misty was stunned. "Oh my god, Ash! I remember you didn't know anything about attribute restraint before. How come you can say so much now?" "Hee. I had done my homework." Xiaojing nodded. Ash's progress is obvious to all. If he loses, Ash will definitely defeat her. "Then why do you always look for a duel with a fire type?" "Because it has fought with Pokemon of all attributes, including the electric type mentioned by this little brother. I left the most difficult fire type for the last, which is the end of my training in the mountains." "I see. It seems that I have to show my ambition to practice." Xiaojing said solemnly, "Go, Vulpix." Xiaojing currently has only this one fire-type Vulpix, and he helped to entrust it to Vivi when he met her. Ash had guessed the outcome of the battle. Vulpix would definitely lose because it was not good at fighting. The result was also obvious. It lost. Sure enough, I lost. After seeing Vulpix being killed by Orberg wings, Xiaojing accepted the result. Do you have any fire-type Pokémon? Mikey asked. I don't have any, but he does. Xiaojing pointed at Ash. In fact, Ash has 3 fire-type Pokémon, Cyndaquil, Ponyta, and Houndour, but this time he still wanted Cyndaquil to go, which could be considered a change of fate. I'll fight you. Ash stood up. It's decided to be you, Cyndaquil. Ash sent Cyndaquil. As soon as Cyndaquil came out, the flame of fighting spirit behind him burst out, and it was even more blazing than usual. Let me see your cultivation fruit. Cyndaquil, take the initiative flamethrower. Skarmory, dodge. Cyndaquil's flamethrower was dodged by Skarmory. Skarmory, use Swift. Cyndaquil, let's use Swift too. Because Swift is a must-hit skill, we can only fight head-on. Skarmory, use Orberg Wings. Cyndaquil, agility, dodge the attack. Skarmory's Orberg Wings flashed white and came directly towards Cyndaquil, but was dodged by the agile Cyndaquil. And the next attack, no matter how Skarmory attacked, could be avoided by Cyndaquil. Ash noticed that Cyndaquil came behind Skarmory and ordered directly, now Cyndaquil, use Flame Charge. Then he saw that Cyndaquil's whole body was burning with flames, and then these flames hit Skarmory, who was restrained twice and screamed in pain. Skarmory, hold it. Just use Orberg Wings to rush over. Cyndaquil, Flame Wheel to meet head-on. Cyndaquil, who was wrapped in flames, shrank into a ball and rolled out to hit Skarmory, who was rushing over, triggering the burning effect. Combined with the damage from Flame Charge before, Skarmory fell to the ground helplessly. Skarmory loses the ability to fight. Cyndaquil wins. Well done, Cyndaquil. You are awesome. Ash knew that Cyndaquil would definitely consume energy to use Flame Charge and Flame Wheel at this stage, so normally used them as a killer move. Unexpectedly, it was successful today. Nino! Cyndaquil shouted excitedly, and then his body emitted a dazzling white light. This is the light of evolution. After the light faded, a 1-meter-tall Kalava with flames on his head and back appeared in front of Ash. Cyndaquil evolved? It must be because he was too excited after defeating a powerful enemy. Ash was also shocked. He didn't expect that the butterfly effect he brought was so big that Cyndaquil evolved early. However, it's still good after all. Welcome, Kalava. To be continued, how about it? Dear readers, is Cyndaquil's early evolution the result you want to see? If so, please come and support us. The next plot is more exciting, so stay tuned. Reading is fun every day on the 11th. Recharge 100 to get 500 VIP points. Recharge now. Activity time. October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 41. Flash Noctowl. Successfully subdued. Seeking support. 3 days have passed since Ash defeated Mikey last time. They're still traveling with the Goldenrod Gym in Goldenrod City as their goal. Now, they came to a forest that was particularly dim even during the day, and they felt that they had not found Cal after walking for a long time. Pika. Suddenly, Pikachu suddenly found something and called out. What's wrong, Pikachu? Ash asked. Pikachu pointed in the direction he pointed with his little finger, and Ash and his friends looked over and found a bird's nest box on the tree. In this world, there are many ways to capture Pokémon. The most common way is to capture them through the capture battle. Another way is to set various traps for different types of Pokémon, such as fishing to capture water Pokémon, or like what they see now, catching bird Pokémon through birds' nest boxes. After seeing it, Xiaojing said, "It seems to be a bird's nest." Then he gestured with his hands. But if it is a Pidgey's nest, it is too big, and if it is a Pidgey's nest, it is too small. Xiaojing, you seem to have forgotten that the Johto region also has its own home bird. Ash couldn't help but remind him. What Pokemon is that? Xiaojing asked in confusion. If I'm right, it's probably Hoot Hoot or Hoot Hoot's evolution, Noctowl. Ash took a look and said his guess. And what happened next also made Xiaojing feel ashamed. I saw a Noctowl landed on the branch, and it also saw the bird's nest, but it tilted its neck and felt that it was not suitable for itself. It turned out that there were many Noctowls living in this forest. Although according to their habit, Noctowls come out at night, but the environment of this forest is really special. Even if it is daytime now, it feels like night after entering this forest. So for some reason, Noctowl also thinks it is night and moves here. At this moment, A branch suddenly stretched out from the tree and drove away the noctowl that stayed in front of the bird nest box. Just now, was there a branch that drove the noctowl away? Misty said. Ash took a quick look and said, "That's just a disguise made by a person. This bird nest box is also made by him." After a while, a noctowl with a very special color suddenly flew over. Normal noctowls are mainly brown, but this noctowl is very bright in color, and it is also a little smaller than normal noctowls. This is a flash noctowl. Finally, I've waited for you. The special colored noctowl. The disguised man was very excited when he saw it, and then slowly stretched out some berries to lure it to take the bait. "Come, try these berries. They're delicious." The noctowl turned its head, kicked the berries away, and at the same time, it hit the disguised tree trunk with its head, and a figure fell out. "Uncle, are you okay?" "My name is not Uncle. My name is Ayu." After understanding it later, they learned that Ayu is a person who likes to collect special Pokémon everywhere, and this special noctowl is his target this time. But this noctowl is not easy to catch. Ash asked. "Yes, this noctowl is smarter than the normal noctowl, and more flexible than the normal noctowl. I tried several times, but failed to catch it." Ayu said. "Then, Mr. Ayu, you try to catch it first, and if you fail, how about letting me capture it?" Ash made his request. Ayu nodded. Then, Ash and the others also saw Ayu trying to catch Noctowl with the reflection of the mirror. But not only did he fail, but he also fell into Noctowl's hypnosis. Ash walked out and said to Noctowl, "Noctowl, I will conquer you in this battle of conquest." Noctowl tilted his head and suddenly flew out, indicating that he agreed. "Then it's decided to be you, Houndour." Ash sent Houndour, because Houndour's dark type can restrain Noctowl's psychic. Noctowl flew down, and the red light from his eyes was Noctowl's hypnosis. But this red light exploded on Houndour and had no effect at all. Noctowl was also panicked when he saw that his hypnosis was cracked. Houndour used Feint Attack. Then, Houndour disappeared from the spot and appeared above Noctowl, slapping it with one claw, but Noctowl quickly stabilized and stared at the big black dog. It turned its head. The angle was a little bigger than usual, as if thinking about something. Suddenly, Noctowl flapped its wings, and a series of white wind blades attacked it. It seems that Noctowl also knew that his psychic-type moves were useless and could only use flying-type moves to deal with it. Houndour dodged and used Flamethrower. The Dog King was very fast, and it dodged a series of air slashes with a kick of its four legs, and then opened its mouth and spit out a mouthful of Flamethrower. "Go, Fastball!" Ash threw out the Fastball from his special Pokémon to prevent Noctowl from running away. The Pokémon ball flashed red twice, and then stopped. "Okay, I've captured Noctowl. Pikachu!" Then, you led Ash and his group out of the forest. As for Noctowl, Ash planned to teleport it back and let Pidgeot train it, so that it wouldn't have to do anything. To be continued. Flash Noctowl successfully captured. Next, I'll give you a preview. There will be a special Pokémon appearing. Guess who it is? The hint is in the related content of the work. Don't tell it easily if you find it. Have fun reading books every day during the National Day. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP points. Recharge now, event time. October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 42. Special visitors to Superpower Town seeking support. It was so thrilling just now. I didn't expect the Ursurings to have such a violent side. But they also helped us a lot. At least now, we don't have to worry about Team Rocket disturbing us. What exactly happened? It turned out that they were resting in a forest and released their Pokémon to rest together. As a result, they were suddenly captured by Team Rocket. Ash was originally with Pikachu and Kalava and was ready to take them back. Then a group of Ursurings appeared and indirectly helped them get back the Pokémon. However, this group of Ursurings did not give up. Instead, they rushed towards Ash and his friends. So, after Ash opened the Wave Guide, he found a way out of the forest. At the same time, he used some tricks to make Team Rocket lose track of him and got lost in this Ursuring forest. When they came out, they saw a sign saying that this season was the time for Ursuring to reproduce, and if anyone entered by mistake, they must be careful. It turned out to be the worst time, but fortunately, it was safe. In this way, they continued to move towards the direction of Goldenrod City and found another notice board. Hey, why is there another notice board? Ash said. Areas where haunter Pokémon frequently appear, it is best to use psychic Pokémon to avoid it. Xiaojiang read out the content written on it. It turns out that there are many haunter-type Pokémon around here. So, this area is prone to haunting? Misty looked around a little scared and said. Suddenly, soaring in the sky suddenly flew over a few bird Pokémon and made a very scary growl, and Ash and the others were immediately scared. The notice says that if there are psychic Pokémon, there will be less trouble. Do we have psychic Pokémon here? Xiaojiang said. If it is psychic, my newly captured Noctowl plus Misty Psyduck should be able to deal with it. Ash thought for a while and said. After hearing about Psyduck, Misty's face turned ugly. What's the use of that stupid duck? Misty, you can't say that. Psyduck is just a little special. If you use it well, it will definitely be your main force. Just as Ash was comforting them, suddenly, the bushes behind them moved, and then a small thing with big eyes and a row of big front teeth emerged from the bushes. This scared Misty and Xiaojiang, but Ash didn't have any fluctuations because after he scanned it with the waveguide, he found that it was a Pokémon, a long-necked Pokémon, Girafarig. This thing is not a ghastly or haunter-type Pokémon. Is there really such a Pokémon? Xiaojiang looked carefully and said, but it looks like a haunter-type Pokémon. Misty approached and wanted to touch it, but the thing suddenly opened its mouth and wanted to bite Misty's finger. Misty was so scared that she immediately retracted her finger. Okay, Misty, this isn't a haunter Pokémon at all. Ash slowly walked over and parted the grass. It turned out that the little thing they saw first was just the Pokémon's tail, and the real Pokémon appeared in front of them. This Pokémon has a white tentacle, a yellow body with white spots, and a pink nose, and looks like a giraffe. I say, it's a bit rude to say that about it. At this time, Girafarig's trainer appeared. This is Stephanie, who is about the same height as Ash but not as tall as him. Ash stepped forward and said, I'm really sorry my two friends don't know you're Girafarig. If there is any misunderstanding, I apologize to you on their behalf. It's okay, but you actually know Girafarig? I saw it on the Pokédex before. Let me introduce myself. I'm Ash from Pallet Town, and these are my friends, Misty and Brock. Hello, my name is Misty. Hello, my name is Brock. Hello, my name is Cherry, and I'm the trainer of this Girafarig. I'm a cute kid, isn't I? Look at it this way, it's really cute. Misty changed her words and praised. You all look like trainers. Do you have psychic-type Pokémon? Yes, but Girafarig's tail is a bit scary. Brock said with lingering fear. So, Girafarig can also avoid haunter-type Pokémon? Misty asked. Yes, there is such a function. Everyone who lives here has their own psychic Pokémon as a partner. Cherry replied. Where do you live? Is this the psychic village? Hey, Ash. How do you know about us? I've heard that there is a place in the Johto region that is famous for having psychic Pokémon in every household. Ash replied. Xiaojiang also opened the guidebook he brought, which was basically the same as what Ash said. Cherry also took them to her home. On the way, they could see that everyone here had a psychic Pokémon here to prevent haunter Pokémon. During the conversation, Cherry said that she wanted to become the first psychic trainer to win the Pokémon Alliance Championship in Psychic Town. So, at Cherry's request, Ash and her prepared to have a warm-up match. At this moment, Cherry's Girafarig suddenly saw something and ran out. Girafarig, where are you going? Cherry called out. Cherry, Girafarig must have sensed something when it went out. Let's go and take a look. Ash saw that it was a little anxious, as if something had happened. Cherry nodded, and the four of them rushed to the direction of Girafarig. Little did they know what was waiting for them ahead. To be continued. This part is all original plots, which is really a bit brain-burning. I owe you 2 updates. I will make up for it around the Dragon Boat Festival. By the way, guess what Pokémon will appear next? Have fun reading every day during the National Day. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP points. Recharge now. Event time. October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 43. Wild Psychic Pokémon. Seeking support because Girafarig has a long neck, he can see farther away. Then, he ran out anxiously without knowing what he saw. Girafarig, where are you going? After seeing it run out, Cherry ran out as well. Ash and the others were worried about Cherry acting alone, so they followed. Following the direction of Girafarig, Cherry and the others soon found Girafarig. Girafarig looked at the two special visitors in front of him curiously. When he saw their weak appearance, he took the initiative to pick some fruit to restore their physical strength for them to eat. The two Pokémon were covered with scars, and it was obvious that they had been through some battle and finally ran here. Girafarig, who are they? How did they come to our town? Cherry looked at the two Pokémon in front of her. One of them was Alakazam, a psychic type, whom she knew, and the other one lying on his head was a younger Pokémon. She had a white body, green hair, and two red horns on her head, the larger one in front and the Arnold one in the back. Her green hair almost covered her face. Xiaojiang and Misty knew about Alakazam, but they didn't know what Pokémon the one on the head was. But Ash was shocked after seeing it, just because the system introduced it. Ralt's Mood Pokémon Attribute, Psychic Fairy Ability, Copy, Telepathy, Hidden Learn Moves, Disarming Voice, Confusion, Double Team, Teleport, Calm Mind, Charm, Illusionary Light. Learn Moves, Draining Kiss, Psywave, Future Sight, Misty Terrain, Shadow Sneak. Evaluation. A Pokémon that was hunted by poachers. It escaped by itself when passing through the Johto region. It is a very good partner with the Alakazam it met. If someone helps them, their intimacy will increase. Note that this Ralts is female. Alakazam. Confusion Pokémon Attribute. Psychic Ability. Psychic Magical Defense. Hidden Learn Moves. Confusion, Disable, Teleport, Illusionary Light, Reflect, Psycho Cut, Psyshock. Learn Moves. Psychic, Safeguard, Future Sight, Zen Headbutt, Guard Split Evaluation. An Alakazam that has been targeted with a much higher IQ than its peers. In order to protect Ralts, it has fought 2 battles in a row, and its physical strength has reached its limit. It urgently needs help from others. Pay special attention. This Alakazam carries Alakazam's Mega Evolution Stone with him. Oh my god, I am surprised. First, I met Ralts, a Pokémon that does not appear in the Johto region, and then I met Alakazam with a Mega Evolution Stone. It's a double happiness. Ash has decided that he can't miss them and must conquer them, so that he can form a psychic team. Thinking of this, Ash took a step forward and came to Alakazam and Ralts. Alakazam looked at this unidentified human very vigilantly, and Ralts hid behind Alakazam in fear, fearing that this human would have some ideas about him. It seems that the wording is a bit inappropriate. Seeing this, Ash activated his wave guide and said, "Don't be afraid, I won't hurt you." Then he slowly stretched out his right hand, and a ball of gentle green energy appeared in his palm, which was healing their injuries. Alakazam and Ralts felt the warmth coming from it, and they were no longer so vigilant, but closed their eyes with enjoyment, and gradually felt that their injuries were gradually getting better. What is Ash's ability? Cherry, who had brought Girafarig back to her side, asked Xiaojiang and Misty. That's his psychic. Ash slowly exhaled and said, "Your injuries have improved a lot, and you just need to rest for a while to recover. Xiaojiang, please take care of their situation." Xiaojiang nodded. Through the understanding of the system, he only knew that these 2 Pokémon were targeted. That is, the people who targeted them would definitely find this place. After all, this is all for their benefit. Cherry, take them back first. There must be a special reason for them to come here. Ash rubbed his temple and said with a very tired look, "Ash, are you okay?" "It's okay, I just overexerted myself. Just take a break." Because of these 2 special guests, Ash and his friends are going to stay here for 2 more days and help them solve the problem. To be continued. To be explained, Ash's wave power is different from Normal's wave power. This is a wave power exclusive to Ash that combines the wave power, the power of Evergreen, and some other hidden and undeveloped psychic. I didn't explain it to you before, so I'll take this opportunity to supplement it. Have fun reading every day on the 11th. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP points. Recharge now. Activity time. October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 44. Protecting Ralts and Alakazam. Dragon Boat Festival. Please support. After taking them back to Cherry's home, I finally felt relieved. Xiaojiang, are they okay? Ash asked. Xiaojiang took a quick look at their condition and said, "They are stable now, but Ash, I didn't expect your psychic to be able to heal Pokémon's injuries. It's incredible. Hey, this matter is not worth mentioning, not worth mentioning." Ash waved his hand and said nonchalantly. Xiaojiang helped them deal with it again and finally got out of danger. How did they get here? Misty asked. The Pokemon on Alakazam's head looked so cute. Misty was about to touch it, but was stopped by Ash. Ash, what are you doing? They're just out of danger now. If you approach them rashly, it will definitely cause bad things. Let me go first, Ash said. After seeing their bad faces, Misty nodded. Ash turned on the wave guide to calm them down, and then said to them, "What happened to you? Can you tell me?" Lalu, Lalu, Lalu. Who? After listening to their narration, Ash understood. It seems that it is exactly the same as what the system said, and it is related to poachers. The Ralts was captured by a poacher group from the Hoenn region. The reason is that someone gave them a bounty and asked them to do something after taking the money. It happened that this poacher group was still in Hoenn, so it was just the right time to do this. However, when passing by a road, they met an Alakazam block. He also saw the poor Ralts, so he set up a posture and asked them to let the Ralts go. The poaching group would definitely not agree, and then the two sides fought. As a result, during the battle, Alakazam used teleport to rescue the Ralts. The poaching group was so angry that they kept chasing them and wanted to catch them together. Later, they ran and came to the forest outside the super town. Unfortunately, they encountered a Jengar, but they were not afraid of the psychic Jengar. So after another battle, they barely beat back the harassment of the Jengar, but at the same time they were also hurt. They also tried their best to protect the Ralts to come here, and then they met Cherry's Girafarig and met Ash and the others. After hearing their experience, Ash raged. Poachers, the most hateful profession for trainers in Pokémon. Their behavior is to capture Pokémon wantonly and then sell them for profit. Such people are the most hateful. Ash, what happened? Misty felt that his mood was not right and asked quickly. Nothing. We must protect them this time and not let them get hurt. Seeing Ash's determination, Misty was not convenient to ask more, so she nodded, agreeing with his idea. At this moment, a villager ran in and said to Cherry breathlessly, "Hurry, hurry up, it's coming again." "What? How did it get here?" "Cherry, who is it?" Xiaojing asked. "In the forest outside our superpower town, there is a Jengar, the leader of all Haunter Pokemon. It is not afraid of psychic Pokemon. We have been helpless and have no way to deal with it. Leave this matter to me. Deal with ghost Pokemon like Jengar. Sometimes dark Pokemon can also deal with him. The Houndour in Ash's hand is just enough to fight him. Not only him, there are also several unidentified people who have been searching for something. Since they are all here, let's drive them away together." In this way, Ash and Misty Xiaojing came to the scene of the incident. They also heard about Ralt's experience from Ash. They were also very angry and hoped to bring these poachers to justice. After seeing them, the three men in black said, "You are Pokemon trainers, right? Go away and don't get in our way." "Get in your way?" "Humph, I'm the one you're looking for. To tell you the truth, Ralt and Alakazam are both with me. If you want them, you have to get past me first," Ash said coldly. "Oh, so you found them, kid? It seems that we can't complete the mission without you. Go, feel. Go, Sneasel." The poachers released their Pokemon. Ash took a look and found that they were basically at the level of minions. "It's you, Pikachu." Ash decisively sent out his most capable Pikachu, and Pikachu also jumped out to confront them. Fearow, use Wing Attack. Sneasel, Alloy Claws. Seeing them rushing over, Ash took out a yellow bead and slapped it on Pikachu's back. "Pikachu, this is your electric bead. Let them see your enhanced power." "Pika, Pika." Pikachu was a little confused at first, but as the electrical energy in his body increased, Pikachu felt a strong force surging in his body, and the static electricity on his cheeks became hot. Pikachu Maximum Thunderbolt. Pikachu, a current that was more surging than before, hit Fearow and Sneasel, killing them instantly in one move, and also affecting the poachers, who were also electrocuted. Originally, they still had 2 Houndooms and 1 Mytyana that they hadn't sent out, but they made a big mistake of underestimating the enemy and underestimated Pikachu's strength, which led to their own failure. Then, Officer Ginny also arrested them at Cherry's report. Before Xiaojing had time to chat, he was dragged away by Misty. Seeing the Jengar in front of him, Ash also sent Houndour, and together with Alakazam, who took the initiative to join the battle, they fought it back. With this, Superpower Town once again restored its former peace. This time, I really thank you very much, Cherry said to them. Actually, there is no more. It is mainly Ash's credit. Misty and Xiaojing unanimously gave the credit to Ash. Ralts and Alakazam looked at Ash, as if they had made a decision, and after looking at each other, they came to Ash. Are you guys going to follow me? Ash asked tentatively. Rallo, Alakazam, they shouted. Originally, I wanted to keep them with me, but since they recognized you, Ash, you have to treat them well, Cherry said playfully. Ash nodded and said, well, please give me your advice, Ralts Alakazam. So that Pokemon is called Ralts. Misty and Xiaojing thought. Ash took out an empty Pokemon ball, and Alakazam was taken in with a light touch. As for Ralts, he lay on top of Ash's head. Okay, I've captured Alakazam and Ralts. Pikachu. In this way, Ash and his friends said goodbye to Cherry, left Psycho Town, and continued to move towards Goldenrod City. What will they encounter next? Please look forward to it. To be continued. The two generals of the Psycho system have been captured successfully. The future Psycho Queen and Mega Alakazam will be one of the main forces, so please rest assured. Have fun reading every day on the 11th. Recharge 100 to get 500 VIP points. Recharge now. Activity time. October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 45. Divination? A conspiracy trick. Dragon Boat Festival Holiday. Please support me. Ash, please lend me Ralts for research. No, Professor. Ralts has just been through something like that and needs someone to accompany it. Besides, it's still quite dependent on me, so it's impossible for now. Also, the Ponyta and Noctowl I sent you are enough for you to research. Ralts can wait for later. Now, Ash and his party have arrived in a small town near Goldenrod City. After passing this town, they will reach their third destination, Goldenrod City. After capturing Ralts and Alakazam last time, Ash's Pokemon with him exceeded 6, so they came to the Pokemon Center in the town to teleport Noctowl and Ponyta back. Noctowl can just keep Pidgeot company, and Ponyta can't be used for the time being. After all, Ash already has 2 fire types, Houndour and Kalava, and it's a little young, so it's better to let it go back and laser focus it first. What's more, the Ponyta of different colors is just right for Professor Oak to study. Maybe the 18th attribute will be discovered. As a result, when he was on the phone, Professor Oak noticed the Ralts on his head. As Ralts are rare in Kanto and Johto region, he certainly wanted to study them. And then the conversation at the beginning happened. Okay, but Ash, where did you get this Ponyta? I got it at the exchange conference in Leaf Town. You are lucky. I will take good care of it for you. Professor Oak didn't say anything. His intuition told him that this Ponyta is not ordinary. It is estimated that when the 18th attribute is discovered, Professor Oak himself will be shocked. Now Ash's Pokemon are Pikachu, Ralts, Bayleaf, Kalava, Slowpoke, Houndour, Alakazam. Because Ralts only wants to lie on Ash's head, Ash also obeys his wishes and lets it lie on his head. If there is any disadvantage, from a distance, Ash looks like a green hat. I'm Pidgey in Pokemon Fortune Telling. I'm Butterfree. Pokemon Fortune Telling is really good. After leaving the Pokemon Center, something called Pokemon Fortune Telling became popular everywhere on the street. Through several passersby, they learned that there was said to be a very magical fortune-telling book here, which used Pokemon to represent people's personality and fortune, and it was said that having the same Pokemon would bring happiness and so on. Ash would never believe this. As a time traveler from his previous life, he hated metaphysical things like fortune telling the most. He couldn't deny it completely, but most of them were just lies to deceive people. In addition, he knew that all this was done by Team Rocket. Not the trio, but another Team Rocket, Madwa and Butch. Unlike Jesse James, these two people were regular Team Rocket and were senior personnel like Giovanni's confidants. Just look at the color of their clothes, and you will know that only the upper-level personnel will have black uniforms, and the lower-level personnel will have silver-white uniforms. The result is clear at a glance. However, Ash's disbelief does not mean that others do not believe it. Look, Misty insisted on dragging Ash and Xiaojing to the breeder house in the suburbs and spent money to buy a divination book. The shopkeepers are a pair of amiable old men and women. They are very enthusiastic to help Misty and others introduce the key points of divination, and also said that they are doing Pokemon storage and exchange business. Thank you very much for your help. We don't need storage and exchange. Goodbye. Ash spoke first, and then took Misty and Xiaojing away. Before leaving, he did not forget to look at them meaningfully. Yeah, well, Butch, we will meet again. After arriving at a bench in the park, Misty said, Ash first, Ash first. There was no way. Fortune-telling was the thing that attracted Stephanie the most. Ash didn't want to tell fortunes at first, but seeing Misty's enthusiasm, he had to agree and just treated it as playing with this girl. Ash's Bellsprout? Bellsprout Pokemon people are very honest and easily influenced by other people's opinions. No, this doesn't seem to be Ash. Hearing this, Ash smiled slightly. If it was the original Ash, it might be a little more accurate, but now he is completely different, and Misty has also seen his changes, so it is naturally inaccurate. Let's take a look at Xiaojing. Xiaojing is Onyx. He is serious and meticulous, which is a bit like Xiaojing. Let me see. Am I really an Onyx type? And I also have Onyx? Does that mean that I will have a beautiful encounter? Xiaojing thought infatuatedly. Ash smiled slightly. This was more accurate because later in Battle Frontier, Xiaojing did meet his true love, Xiaoji, but no one was there to match them up. If they were, they could become a couple again. It seems that he needs to help this person in Battle Frontier. Let me see mine. Mine should be a water Pokemon or a particularly gentle water Pokemon like Seal. Misty began to imagine, then opened the book and looked at the result with an incredible look. Why? How could it be like this? Ash took a peek and saw that it was indeed Gyarados. I guess she is now in contest condition. Impossible. How could my Pokemon be a vicious Gyarados? This is impossible. I think they look very similar in temperament. Xiaojing interrupted. Bang! The result of interrupting was that Xiaojing had a bump on his head. Misty clenched her fist, and there was still on her forehead. No, this book is not accurate at all. I'm going to find them to argue. Misty suddenly stood up and walked towards the breeder's room. It's obviously not accurate, but they still charged us so much money. Ash thought about it and said, I think we should find them. This is a scam from beginning to end. Scam. You will know it later. To be continued, read books every day during the 11th. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP points. Recharge now activity time. October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 46. Misty's Rampage. Ash's Anger. Seeking support. In the town near Goldenrod City, there is a popular Pokemon fortune-telling. Misty is very interested in fortune-telling and drags Ash and Brock to the fortune-telling bookstore to buy a book. When she got her own fortune-telling result, she was not satisfied with her result of Gyarados, so she wanted to find them to argue. On the way, Xiaojing asked, Ash, why can you conclude that this divination is a conspiracy? It's very simple. If they just bought divination books, I might not notice them. But there is one thing I care about, that is, why do they have the service of Pokemon storage and exchange? Maybe it's out of interest? No. The real service of storing or exchanging Pokemon requires the approval of the Alliance. I just noticed that there is no relevant certificate in their breeder's house, and the location is in the suburbs. Don't you think it's too strange? But what does this mean? Do you remember the Pokemon foster family we met in the Orange Islands? Don't you think the methods of these two things are a bit similar? Xiaojing lifted his chin. So it seems that there is a little bit. After seeing an open space, Ash called them. Wait a minute. What's wrong, Ash? Ash pulled Misty and Xiaojing and turned on the wave guide to teleport over and put the divination book on an open space during the process. Ash, what are you doing? Misty asked. We'll know in a minute. At the same time, the three members of Team Rocket hiding in the dark also felt incredible when they saw this scene. No way. Our trap is actually ineffective. The little brat didn't fall in at all? Hey, what is that? Jessie saw a book and said. So, the three idiots went to pick up the book that Ash deliberately dropped, but they fell into the pit themselves. Hey, Team Rocket, how does it feel to fall into the trap you dug yourself? Ash said, Damn little brat, it turns out you were playing tricks on us. After seeing Ash, Team Rocket realized that he did it on purpose. You dug the pit yourself, so you jumped in? By the way, that book is for you to read when you are bored, and it is also a little gift from me to you. After saying that, Ash took Misty and left. Seeing them like that, I feel a lot more comfortable inexplicably. After seeing the embarrassed look of Team Rocket, Misty's mood was swept away, and she became happy. On the other side, the Rockets were looking at the divination book in the pit, and they found out that James was Molters. The most bizarre thing was that James didn't believe it at first, but he believed it when he found the bottle cap missing under his feet. Then, James was very responsible today. He tied himself and Jesse Meowth together and climbed out of the pit with his bare hands. Please note that he did it with his bare hands. Then James didn't know when he changed into Molter's clothes and was ready to go to the breeder's house to snatch Pokémon, and he had to go through the main entrance. Let's not talk about these funny actions for now, and let's talk about Ash and his friends who have arrived at the Pokémon Center. Originally, Misty felt much better under Ash's clever arrangement, but she felt bad again when she arrived at the Pokémon Center. As for the reason, just look at the wretched uncle who was chatting with Nurse Joy. This person's mouth is extremely dishonest. Divination itself is very popular, and Xiaojing also took this opportunity to chat with Nurse Joy. This seemed to be the only time he had a normal conversation with Nurse Joy, but he was dragged away not long after the conversation. Please note that he was dragged away. The reason can be basically known by looking at the extra bag on his head and Misty Rage's appearance. There is something wrong with this book. I'm going to argue with them, Misty said angrily. Misty, don't take it seriously just because it's a joke. I said go argue. Misty was already in a nearly runaway contest condition at this time. That look made Xiaojing think she was really Gyarados. As a result, when the three of them came to the breeder's house, they found that the old couple was gone, and they couldn't get into the main door of the breeder's house, so they went around to the back. Then they found that many poor Pokémon were locked in cages, which was exactly what Ash guessed. Yamadou and Butch had just finished reporting their work to their boss Giovanni, and when they turned around, they saw Ash and the others coming. The difference between these two people and Jesse James is that they are bad guys from beginning to end. It's you, they said to each other at the same time. I didn't expect to see you again. The divination book is really your bait. Ash took out the divination book they wrote and threw it in front of them. Yamaduo said proudly, yes, this is what we wrote. This book is just made up by isolation. I didn't expect so many people would really believe the nonsense in it. What? Made up by isolation? Misty has entered the runaway contest condition at this time. But Solation made up himself into Gyarados. This is intolerable. At this time, James appeared wearing Molter's clothes. It's over, another obsessed person. Ash muttered, little brat, you guys are also starting to steal Pokémon? Jesse asked, what do you mean by career change? They are the bad guys, Misty shouted. And what's wrong with your clothes? Haha, no matter what you want to do, you must surrender to me, Master Molter's James, today. I will take all your Pokémon and the Pokémon here. Submit to the flames of Master Molter's James. Go, Victory Bell. Even you are Molters, and I am Gyarados? Unforgivable, unforgivable, go, Stereo. As a result, Psyduck ran out. You are not Stereo. Why are you running out? On the other side, the battle between Ash and Butch was also coming to an end. Kalava, use Flame Wheel, Pikachu, Thunderbolt. Pikachu and Kalava attacked together and defeated Raticate and Infernape they sent out. As for them, they were already electrocuted, just waiting for Officer Jenny to come and catch them. Misty and James, because of the Molter's buff, Misty's Psyduck was chased by Victory Bell everywhere, but Misty did not let it withdraw from the battle. After all, when Psyduck has a headache, it will use the psychic trick of confusion. Victory Bell, use Vine Whip. Victory Bell's Vine Whip hit Psyduck without any chance to fight back. Psyduck, use the confusion, but there was no response. Isn't it painful enough? Psyduck, put your head in a Victory Bell's mouth. That's it, Pikachu Thunderbolt, send them away. Suddenly, Ash asked Pikachu to blast the Rocket Trio into the sky. I'm Molters, I'm already flying into the air. You were hit. I finally found the author to write more for us, but it's still like this. What a disgusting feeling. Butch and the others were still paralyzed, and Officer Jenny, who came over, directly arrested them. Ash, why did you interfere just now? Misty looked at Ash, who looked unhappy, and asked in confusion. Pa! Ash slapped her directly. Misty looked at him in confusion after being hit. Let me ask you, do you still remember what your dream is? My dream is to be a water-type Pokémon master. You can still think of it, but think back to what you did just now. or even what you did today, are you worthy of this dream? Psyduck does launch powerful moves when it has a headache, but this does not mean that this is its fighting method. Look at what you said just now, and you even want Psyduck to stick it into someone's mouth. Is this what a qualified trainer would say? Also, for a divination without any basis, have you even forgotten your original intention? With you like this, what dream can you talk about? Ash's words were very heavy. He had always felt too sorry for this Psyduck. In order to launch a special move, he often had to endure unimaginable pain for other Pokémon. All along, his way of training Pokémon was scientific. This kind of pain to stimulate potential is absolutely not advisable. Not only them and Psyduck in the original work, but also his future rivals, Shinji and Chimchar, all need pain to stimulate potential. But what are the consequences of doing so? It will only hurt Pokémon. If the potential is stimulated like this, it will only aggravate the hidden injuries of Pokémon. Psyduck? Yes, Psyduck will also feel pain. I'm sorry for you, Psyduck, for giving such a stupid order to let you use your special move. Misty finally came to her senses and hugged Psyduck, tears streaming down her face. Quack! This heartless Psyduck actually smiled foolishly. Ash, were you a little too cruel just now? Xiaojang said puzzledly after seeing all this. Let her think about it herself. She needs quiet, so let's wait outside. As for that slap, she can return it whenever she wants. Ash shrugged and walked out with Xiaojang, leaving Misty alone. To be continued, when boys encounter something unbearable, they do have some extreme behaviors. I'm like this. When the other party does something you can't stand, you will really fight when you are emotionally excited, and sometimes it doesn't matter whether you are a man or a woman. I hope you don't get affected. This is just an episode. Also, I'm sorry to the author of a book. I borrowed your plot. A preview. The next chapter is the Goldenrod Gym Challenge. I guarantee you will be satisfied. Have fun reading books every day during the National Day. Top up 100 and get 500 VIP points. Top up now. Event time. October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 47 Arrival at Goldenrod City. First encounter with Whitney. Seeking support, Ash and his party have gone through numerous hardships and are finally arriving at Goldenrod City. Look, we are about to arrive at Goldenrod City. Misty pointed to Goldenrod City outside the forest exit and said, "What are we waiting for? Let's go quickly." "I can't wait," Ash said excitedly. After the party arrived at Goldenrod City, it was indeed different from the places they had passed by before. There were many tall buildings here, and it was very prosperous. The streets with people coming and going reflected the prosperity of Goldenrod City itself all the time. The first thing to do when you come to this big city is to go shopping, Misty said excitedly. After hearing this, Ash was a little bit dissatisfied. Just when he was about to express his thoughts, Xiaojang said on the side, "If you come to this big city, you must first go to find a beautiful big sister to date." Well, it turns out that these two people are not serious. But recalling this part of the plot, in the original book, the gym seems to be on holiday at this time. So if you go there, you will most likely be turned away. In addition, Stephanie, the only girl in the team, had suffered a lot before arriving at Goldenrod City. This time, she can relax and Xiaojang can replenish the supplies in the team. He can also relax his body and mind and make himself more energetic for the gym battle. This can be said to kill 3 birds with 1 stone. Why not do it? Okay, this time I will listen to Misty. Let's go shopping in the department store in Goldenrod City first and replenish the supplies. After shopping, we will find a place to have a good meal and let us completely relax physically and mentally. How about it? After Ash said this, Misty Xiaojang immediately felt a little dazed. In the past, shouldn't Ash have proposed to find a gym for a gym battle? What was wrong with him today that he actually took the initiative to say that he wanted to go shopping? Don't look at me like that. It's absolutely not advisable for me to challenge the gym at this time, because my mental contest condition is not very good. So, if I go shopping with you, I will completely relax myself and enjoy myself. The gym battle can also be fought tomorrow, not necessarily today. Ash's words were completely finalized. He went to the department store first, and then went to the Pokémon Center to rest after dinner. However, Ash did this and dug a hole for himself. because after experiencing it personally, he realized that it was a nightmare for many boys to go shopping with Stephanie. As for why he said that, just look at the things he and Xiaojing were holding in their hands. The two of them had a lot of suffering. Ash, do you regret saying that? Xiaojing said secretly. I'm already regretting it. I have to jump into the hole I dug myself with tears in my eyes. Ash replied with tears in his eyes. Fortunately, Misty could feel that they were a little tired, so when they saw that they were almost done shopping, they came to a place to eat, and Ash and Xiaojing were relieved. I said, I just asked you to get some food. Why do you have to eat like this? Misty was eating omelette rice, and she felt a little embarrassed when she saw the two people eating in an indecent manner. When the pork chop rice was half finished, Ash drank a sip of water and said, Please, Misty, this is the first time I go shopping with a girl. Who knew it would be so exhausting? If we don't eat more, we won't have the energy to take the things back to the Pokémon Center. As Xiaojing ate, he nodded, as if to say, Ash is right. Misty looked at Ash and slowly began to be curious. This idiot was originally just a hot-blooded idiot, but since that time, he has completely changed. He even gave up going to the Goldenrod gym for her and went shopping with her. Although he was a little embarrassed for the first time, he still managed to stick to it. Ash, you really make me unable to see through you. After finishing the meal, Misty bought another Clefairy doll and pinned it. On the way, she met a real Clefairy. Ash knew that this was the Pokémon of Whitney, the trainer of Goldenrod Gym. Sure enough, a girl with light pink hair came to Clefairy, hugged it and said, Why are you running around again, Clefairy? I'm really sorry, my Clefairy is a little active. It's okay. It's not a bad thing for Pokémon to be naturally active. Let me introduce myself. I'm Ash, and this is my companion Misty and Xiaojing. If I'm not mistaken, you should be the trainer of Goldenrod Gym, Miss Whitney. Yes, but you can detect me at a glance, which is really amazing. Whitney said, The reason is simple. There are Clefairy dolls and other related toys sold everywhere here. Normally, it means that the Pokémon of the gym trainer must have a Clefairy. Seeing the Clefairy in your arms, I have confirmed my thoughts. Ash deduced. Good. You have a clear mind, Ash. Today is also the gym's day off. Yes, you should be here to challenge the gym. That's right, but it's better to do it tomorrow. After all, I don't want to disturb you during the day off. You are well-behaved and well-spoken. In that case, I will take you to Miltank Ranch to play. Thank you so much. Coming to a city far away from Orberg, this grassland can really relax people physically and mentally. Ash and his group also successfully tasted the milk from Miltank Ranch. The milk here is particularly delicious. It can be said that Whitney invited them. However, this relaxation is only temporary. Tomorrow, Whitney and Ash will have a real battle. To be continued, the third badge will be received soon. Please try your best to vote. Thank you. Recently, I have returned to school and I have to pack my roommate's luggage. Basically, I am exhausted after a busy day. My computer is running out of power, so I can only write one chapter. I will add more to the contest condition tomorrow. Reading is fun every day on the 11th. Top up 100 and get 500 VIP points. Top up now, event time, October 1st to October 7th. Chapter 48. The third badge, obtained seeking support. The next day, Ash came to challenge the Goldenrod Gym. As expected, Whitney was the gym owner. Unexpectedly, everyone was sitting together and laughing yesterday, but today it would become a rival. The referee said, Now, Ash from Pallet Town will fight against Whitney, the trainer of the Goldenrod Gym, in a Pokémon battle with the gym badge as the stakes. Now it starts. 3 Pokémon will be used. Do both sides have any opinions? When announcing, the referee also signaled them with his eyes, and their answers were very consistent. No problem. Ash, although I admire your brain and reasoning ability, I will not hold back in a battle. Whitney said first. Ash smiled and said, Okay, I was hoping that you could fight me with all your strength. So far, the Pokémon around Ash, except Pikachu and Ralts lying on his head, are Bayleaf, Kalava, Slowpoke, Alakazam, and Houndour. He had also decided who to use for the lineup this time. Then, the game began. As usual, the gym trainer was the first attacker. You go first, Night Arena. Goldenrod Gym is a normal type gym, but this time, Whitney's first Pokémon is Poison type, but but it has no effect on Ash at all. Then the first battle is decided to be used Slowpoke. Ash threw Slowpoke's Pokemon Ball. Although he had trained it before, he still felt that it would be faster to gain experience through battles, and it would be smoother when it evolved in the future. Did Ash actually send out Slowpoke? Misty said, I guess he was providing Slowpoke with some battle experience. Xiaojing thought for a while and said, Night Arena, use Poison Barb. Slowpoke, use Water Gun. The white Poison Barb and Water Gun collided, and for a while, it was still unclear who won. Ash found an opening and ordered, Slowpoke, use Yawn. Slowpoke opened his mouth, and a pink bubble-like object floated out, hitting Night Arena. As a result, Night Arena fell to the ground and fell asleep. Night Arena, don't sleep. Get up.
No more novels? Take part in the voting. The most requested novels and those with the most likes will be chosen for publication on euroaudiobooks.com. There, I can upload as much as I want without the risk of receiving a strike. Our 18 novels and other content that exceed what is morally acceptable are only published on Patreon or the free novels page. Remember, the site is funded by donations on Ko-fi and Patreon memberships.